Okay, you can hear 100% infield. Huge thing here. This is also on island. I mean, can you even see it 3D printed? Oh no, even play around. It's very nice. So we are in the lab. 40mm cube. Whoa. Be mine. All our different materials. How do you guys like it? I think we are live. Hey everyone, how is everyone? NS Joe, good morning. How are you? How do you like the new setup? Done in 15 minutes. How do you like it? Hi Chewy, how are you? Oh, definitely. When I received the negative results, I was like, oh, finally back home. Well, you know, I have the negative result. That was the first step. Then second step was to find a flight that didn't go through, Singapore, Seoul, and then back to Shanghai, like 24-hour trip for a 3 hours flight. But I found one, respectable one, on the 28th. So I have 1 week, plus I arrived to China, and then another 5 days, and then another 3 days at home, and then that's it. So at least now I can start the countdown. Not like before, where, you know, every week we have the surprise whether we're still positive or not. So anyway, Matt German, how are you? Dusty Nako, Hildesmark, thank you for being there. I want a Steph burner. How do you like that? How do you like my my Steph burner here? There's one missing. Can you guess which color is missing? Which of the sparkle color is missing? The countdown was no longer than NASA Artemis. That's true. That's true. Hey, Daft Patch, how are you? Let me see. Hopefully, I didn't miss any name. Drudge, thank you for being awesome. Yeah, by the way, I started the giveaway just before. Let me see. There you go. So don't forget to be awesome in the chat. Who else do we have? Iron Man, how are you? Kim Nerd, how are you? And Peslies, of course. Peslies, how do you like? Oh, let me put it back here like this. How do you like my my beautiful logo there? Oh, by the way, this is the sword that I didn't get. Do you remember the story about the kid? Yeah, that's the sword. Who else do we have? Do we have any YouTube people here? Oh, yes. Very beginning. Let me scroll. Marcel of Axis. Who is Dr. Quad? You're going to discover that today. That brings me to today's topic. What are we going to do today? I thought we would have, you know, our weekly interview with makers, but we're gonna have more than that today. So I'm not sure if you have followed on Discord. By the way, I'm looking this way because the chat is there. I made some kind of setup. I hope it's gonna hold. Like sometimes it goes completely black, like I'm pretending that I'm still talking, but actually it's completely black in front of me. But hopefully that's gonna make it. Zombie, thank you for being here. So today we're gonna talk with Dr. Quad. So Dr. Quad, if you don't know, let me see. Do I still have the link? There you go. Dr. Quad. Let me share. I'm going to share this multiple times, so don't worry. Here's the YouTube channel. Dr. Quad. I discovered Dr. Quad. Do you remember the video that we watched a few streams ago? Like last week or the week before? Oh, wait. I couldn't pass the link through. Let me post it again here. Okay, got it. So we watched a video. You remember, like a short on YouTube of a guy that was, throwing around some PLA Pro frame. You remember that? And then we were like, and then he was like, "Oh, this is so awesome!" And then we watched the video together, and then we were like, "Is it PLA Pro that is really good, or is it ironic?" You know, because we had some ironic video before, right, about our materials, and then we were like, okay, so we need to check. So I posted a comment, and then actually I have one of my colleagues here that was already in contact. And I was like, oh, okay, here's the answer. PLA Pro is actually good. And then we had some discussion, and then he joined our Discord, and then we are going to have him today on stream. So let me welcome. Let me put the right thing up together, and we are going to welcome. Hey, Dr. Quad, how are you?
I had to do a slightly dramatic entrance there. How's it going, guys?
How's everything, Daniel? Is that Daniel?
Good.
Dr. Which one do you
prefer?
Dr.
Quaz is fine. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, no, I've just I was thinking about putting the mannequin here and just talking behind it, but I don't know if you guys would handle that.
Yeah, it's a fun stream. Whatever. Buildersmark or Zombie, do you think you can deal with that bot on YouTube? We don't want beautiful girls here.
Yeah, no, ugly girls only, please. My wife's watching the stream, so let's keep it.
So yeah, thank you so much for joining the stream. Like, I mean, we started talking like a few days ago, and now we are on stream together.
We talked actually long ago. The first YouTube short that you commented on was I was commenting. It was the TPU HF, and you commented on it, and I was like, "Hey, I want to come fly in your factory," and you're like, "Okay." I was like, "Yes."
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
And then for some time, have you posted like some video with, because I have a trigger that anyone that has some kind of Polymaker name somewhere, then it will trigger that. So I guess
okay, yeah.
Name, and then suddenly you were posting PLA Pro, and most likely there's a Polymaker name somewhere, and then you put it back in my feed.
Yeah. Well, note to self: use Polymaker on every single video now, so you can watch them all. Oh yeah, Polymaker's pretty awesome. I started out 3D printing not too long ago, and there was like this guy who was kind of my mentor. And I give a little bit of a poke in the side on him. And he told me the first thing he said is like, you're going to print like a bunch of crap. Like you're just going to print nothing but crap with TPU for the first like month or two. And I was like, yeah, we'll see who does that. And then of course, sure enough, I printed a bunch of crap, and it was really frustrating. And, cause like when you first step into 3D printing, there's just so much, it may be pretty simple. But now that I look at it, I'm like, yeah, it's easy 3D printing. But like back in the day, it was just like, you're looking at all these settings in Cura, and you're like, pressure what? Like what is that? But then I bought some Polymaker HF, and the first print, I was trying to print a pretty complicated little design, and that's this here. This is for an air unit, and if you take the air unit apart, you can make it naked. They call it naked, where you take the heat sinks off and stuff, because you don't really need them when you're flying, because the airflow will provide enough cooling. And it saves weight, and every gram counts. But this is actually this is the print right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and drop it. But this is Polymaker HF, and you can see, I mean, it printed pretty well for something so small and intricate. And after this, it was like I bought like 5 rolls or something.
Yeah, that's not.
Became an evangelist.
Even with regular PLA, I think stringing management, flow management for that print.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that brings me to ask you like the first question, which is, how did you get into 3D printing? Like, what's your journey? Are you in 3D printing like for the last 10 years, or is that a recent thing, or what's
shoot about? In fact, when you messaged me on that one video, that was about when I started 4 months ago, I think. Yeah, about 3 or 4 months ago. Something like that. Yeah. And I mean, I've been going ham on it.
Drone and 3D printing, is that you started with drone and then later
drones first? Yeah. Well, because like here, give me some of that iFlight crap, babe. Oh wait, no, iFlight, don't hate me. I'm sorry. So when you buy parts for drones, they're always like really premium and really expensive. So you think. So you buy these little things here. Imagine how much this is. I mean, actually here, let's see what the chat says. How much is this? This is a TPU, right? Little 3D printed battery holder. How much do you guys think that is? Yeah. All right, go ahead and leave it in the chat there. I'll pause now if you don't want to hear. That can go for like 45 RMB, which is, how much is that in dollars? I don't know. It's like I don't know, a buck or something.
35 RMB, 50.
$10, like really? 7. Yeah. So like it was bleeding me. It was just like, gosh, man, like I just want to get a little foot for my drone, and it's so expensive, 20 RMB here and there, and next thing you know, you don't have money for your actual parts for the drone. And so I said, if I want to keep doing this, I've got to figure out how to do this like myself. And so I watched a couple videos, and then I bought the Ender S1 Pro, and the rest is history. Yeah, I've been pretty much deep into it ever since then. And when I started designing my own quads, that's when 3D printing really just opened up a whole new door. Because here's this is my first design, a big boy.
Oh,
The only reason why I made this so big was because I was trying to get this completely sponsored. And nobody would like take me seriously back then, except one company, Brother Hobby. And so I was like, hey, I want some motors to like outfit a drone, like this new concept that uses center of gravity as like the philosophy of building it. And Brother Hobby's like, okay. And I'm like, well, do you have any like 2207s or something smaller? Like, no, here's some 2812s. I'm like, oh, it's a really big motor, so I had to change the design. But I'm happy that I did that. I'm happy I did it. But nobody wants this drone. Yeah.
Actually, what the chat is saying like crazy numbers, like $25, $20, $35 for that.
Wow. I guess it's not that expensive.
Well, I think it's because I think most of you don't know where Dr. Quad is basing. Like if you know where he's based, then you will understand why price. We have a different standard when it comes to compared to you. So yeah, what's your story? Where you're based? What are you doing there? What do you do in general, basically?
Well, I came to China 9 years ago, and I just wanted to travel the world. I went to Japan first. I went around different places. I was just looking for something. I don't know what it was really, but when I got here, I really loved it. It was just such a great atmosphere, and I just felt like I could be myself, But then, what really kept me here was my wife, probably, because I got married. Yeah, and I had 2 kids, and it's just been pretty much a happy life. It's been a struggle, I guess, like to find out what I want to do with my life. Because I was talking to Zombie Hedgehog the other day, and he's like, I don't really know what I want to do when I grow up. And I just identify with that so much, like I'm 35 now, and I still feel like a kid sometimes because what do I want to do? I don't know. But that's what's so cool about 3D printing and Blender. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm going to be evangelist for CAD Sketcher. So I do not like CAD software. It's just I use Blender for 3D animation and stuff like that. So when I go over to Fusion 360, it's just it's grinding my gears, just navigating, just like controlling the mouse and the viewport and stuff. But there's a guy, Maker Tales. He created a program, or I think he collaborated with it, called CAD Sketcher, and it's constraint driven design in Blender, which is just mind blowing. So all the stuff that I design is in that. And so it has its limitations, sure, because it's not a proper CAD software, but it also has its strengths. Like when I'm done with the design, I instantly have promotional material because it's in Blender. I just slap some lights on in the camera and animate it, and then there you got a commercial. So it's pretty cool.
And what do you think is best? Is it best to know how to use a couple of software, a CAD software, or is it better to master one?
I mean, that depends on if you're a hobbyist. It's best to know a little bit of all because you're going to be doing a lot of everything on your own, and you're going to be kind of, if you're doing it professionally, like you just learn one thing really well because you're likely going to be placed in a team, right? And then you're just going to handle this part of that thing, and then everyone else will handle their parts, and they want you to be able to handle that part really well. But Blender, Blender's amazing. I really think that Blender is something special. It's open source, and now it's got constraint-driven design, which is pretty phenomenal given the fact of what you can do with Blender. I mean, compositing, motion tracking, animation, the grease pencil with 2D animation and stuff like that. It's so powerful. And now with CAD Sketcher, it goes hand in hand with 3D printing because that's actually what Maker Tales made it for, was for 3D printing because he does a lot of 3D printing on it. So it's pretty awesome. Okay. Very accurate too. Yeah.
That's nice. We have Astro Printer. Where in China are you? I think he's somewhere around Shenzhen because I don't think you guys know much Chinese.
Let's just say that.
I guess is that correct? Like around there?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
You can find if you just like go past a couple rice paddies and into like a cave, come out the cave, and then there and it's like a forest ravine place. Yeah.
So basically, he can get the part at the source, basically.
Yes, that's cool. That's the cool part. Working with the manufacturers here has been pretty awesome because you get things for prices, and then you find out what they are in American prices. You're like, ooh, hey, that's pretty good.
Out of business.
Yeah.
That's cool. Is that the reason why you chose to be there? Is that for your hobby or?
No. This is my wife's hometown. So
okay.
Yeah. Like her family's pretty big. It's a very great family, and so I want my kids to grow up with a family. I kind of grew up with just like a single mom, and so I didn't have any other relatives. So I want my kids to have, like a proper family. So we moved out. It's tough because it's a small town, and there's not a lot of opportunity here as far as like a video maker and things like the things that I do. But it's a great part about online work is I can be anywhere.
Definitely. And I was actually having a discussion with my wife the same, because we are planning to go back. I come from a tiny Pacific island, and there's basically 9,000 people on the whole island, and there's not much to do. And then we were thinking actually to go to develop something online for the same. So I think this creation thing is really great for remote. And we can see, I'm not sure if you watch videos like I think it's an Indonesian. There's 2 Indonesian guys that are building some stuff in the jungle or something, and they have like
yeah.
So definitely, I mean, creation is for everyone on on the internet. It's really for everyone.
Yeah, I think that's such a important thing, not just for us old guys, but also for the people coming up. I don't want to get on a high horse here, but like TikTok and all these various methods of quote unquote creation have kind of lost their power and their punch. But like when it comes to engineering and when it comes to 3D printing and stuff, you can't algorithmically cheat your way through that. You have to design cool stuff. You have to print cool stuff. And it's always awesome. And no matter who you are, you look at the kind of work that these people are doing, especially on like YouTube and at least where I'm witnessing it. And it's just like, wow, like how do they think of that? How do they come up with that? And it inspires you. I mean, like I think some of the stuff I'm doing is pretty cool, but I look online sometimes and I see people doing stuff, especially in the drone world too. And it's like, how would I ever get to that point? And I think that's really what is so important for the youth growing up, is to see that mountain and to have the inclination to climb it, and not to try to cheat their way through it, which is what I feel like a lot of like video and creation stuff has been kind of hacked, let's say, with algorithms and stuff. And you can't do that with 3D printing though. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's true. Another thing I noticed is that the format is becoming so short, like shorter and shorter, that it's harder and harder for people to follow a video, stay focused on a video. Like they need, even the big creators that make like 10, 20, 30 minutes video, they struggle a lot because the focus span of people has reduced tremendously. So that's a big issue. Go ahead.
Well, it's something that I experienced in my professional career as a videographer. Oftentimes I'll make a video and I'll just be like, wow, this is really great. And it'll be like 5-10 minutes long. And they'll be like, well, can you like cut it down and make it more interesting? I'm like, but why though? But why? Like maybe sometimes like with the tree ants from Lord of the Rings. Anything worth saying takes a long time to say. And sometimes that's true. But it's just like, that's how it is now. And you just kind of have to adapt to it if you're going to survive in that world. And so I said, well, screw that. I just do 3D printing. Just 3D printing and designing. Yeah, let's just do that.
I agree. Yeah. Astro Printer, I was in Beijing, Chimpu, Pudong, and Shanghai. Oh, nice. Is there anyone else that came to China before? Well, remember, now 2 people in China. So if you want to hang out or something, just let us know. I know we have NSTO that is actually here with me. He's in Taiwan, and we went to a restaurant together actually. That's the amazing thing. The thing about the 3D printing community, like I arrived here, and then I was stuck, and I had all of this problem, and then I just talked on Discord, and then he was like, "Hey, I'm in Taipei. How about we hang out?" So, that's awesome. I mean, I'm lonely here, so that was beautiful. That was really, really good.
My chair down there. Yeah, I can't wait till all this stuff is settled and I come to. Is it Shanghai where Polymaker is?
Suzhou,
Suzhou. Yeah, I know Suzhou. Like I want to come fly in your factory. I really want to.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. I'll use this little guy here. Little tiny thing. This here is a naked GoPro. And this is also Polymaker. Well, part of it's Polymaker HF. You guys don't make pink. Make some pink. Stuff sells so good. Yeah.
Is that TPU? TPU in pink? Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. This TPU is some no-name TPU, but it's the only TPU that I could find that has this particular pink value. But this is the HF right here, the black HF. And you see, I try to print the black HF on the money business, like where it will take impacts. Because TPU is really great for protecting these naked GoPros from impact because, well, obviously this is a GoPro 8 that I ripped apart and then you put it back together in a smaller frame and you lose the screen, you lose the battery, but you save a lot of weight. So something small like this can fly it around just fine. Whereas a GoPro 10 or something is really heavy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you able to do that because GoPro is open source, or you just know what you're
just
doing?
rip it apart? You actually, well, you use a heat gun, and yeah, well, this video's online. It's not like I invented the process. You just go watch a video online. Some really great ones out there, some not so great ones. It's tough to show. Like setting up a YouTube studio myself, it's really tough to show those angles as you're working on something. To be able to see it intricately when it's so tiny. So you got to have like a really dedicated setup for that. But you just heat up the top piece with a heat gun, and then you pry it off with a couple tools. And then once you do that, it's pretty easy because then you can just unscrew a bunch of the stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Well, when an expert tells me it's pretty easy, I always be careful.
Yeah. Well, it's dangerous because if you make a mistake, poof. And that's what happened yesterday. Oh, actually, it was the battery I was making on my stream. While I was talking to you, I wasn't really paying attention, and I reversed polarity the battery. So when I plugged it into the drone, poof, the magic smoke, puff the magic dragon. There goes $100. Gone.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Little John, the classical Suzhou garden are amazing. Oh, you know that? Yes. If you come to Shanghai, just go to Suzhou, to the Suzhou gardens. They're beautiful. You can buy the GoPro 10 Black Bones.
Yeah.
Now.
You can buy the GoPro 10. And listen, I wouldn't say that it's not worth the money. The GoPro 10 Bones is pretty awesome looking. And because of the GoPro 10 Bones, they unlocked the software, which was previously locked. So when you make your GoPro naked, you don't have a screen anymore. And so you can't really control the Pro Tune settings. But when they released the GoPro 10 naked, the Bones is basically a naked GoPro 10. They had to unlock the software. So now it's a lot easier for people to have the GoPro naked. But the 10 is just a fantastic.
Naked meaning there's no screen or no
well
cover?
It's like you've just you've stripped it down from all the parts that you don't need to actually just capture the image that you need. And it only really works on a drone because you need that airflow to cool it down because there's no heat sinks, there's no it's just like the raw chip right there. But like these things pump a lot of air out, so it's more than enough to cool the GoPro as long as you're flying. So like when I turn it on, I have like a minute to start flying, otherwise I need to turn it off. Like if I like some problem happens and I fiddle around for like 5 minutes, I come back and my GoPro and my drone is overheated. Yeah. So it's a little fiddly, but it's the name of the game. Like I was flying in the mall the other day and I could not fly something like that big boy. It's just not possible. It's also very dangerous too. So yeah.
What are the kind of regulation? Like, can you fly everywhere and how you want, or what are the regulations?
Before, yeah, it was the Wild West. At least here in China, I know the rules in America and China are different, but at least on my side of the fence, it was the Wild West. You just flew wherever you wanted to. Just don't, like it was more like if people reported you or something, then yeah, there was a problem. And so that's why often before I would make drones with like pink blades and everything. I loved pink because if you make it look like a toy when you're flying around, and some people are like, their kids are there and they're like, oh, look at that fun toy, yay. But if you fly some death looking machine, they're you're gonna kill everybody. So it just came down to like people's opinions, and so you always just try to be like conscious of other people. But then now you have to apply every time you want to fly. But it's actually really easy though, because the police department here, I have them on WeChat, and I'll just be like, hey, I want to fly. They're like, okay, and then that's that. And so actually, I kind of like that better because it's like you have a feeling of safety, or not. You feel like you're not like breaking the law. You feel like, hey, I've been approved by the police department. I can fly. And so I actually fly more aggressively now than I did before. Right.
Yeah, because because you can.
Because I can. Yeah, exactly. Not in the mall though. Not in the mall. I didn't fly so aggressively in the mall because not every shop had approved the flights. So only a few shops had. So I had to be mindful of that. I still pushed a little. I pushed a little bit. You have to. Otherwise you're not going to get seen.
What are the actual risks? Like I was watching. Do you know Nero 3D on YouTube?
I love that. I just want to say his intro is fantastic. That song is stuck in my head every time I watch him. I'm addicted to it.
So I was watching his stream yesterday. He was talking about his drone. He's also making a drone, and then he was talking about like 90 miles an hour. Is that the risk? Is that if 90 miles an hour is in someone's face, that's the risk?
Yeah, there's so many risks. In fact, actually, I am working on a video right now where I take chicken feet and I'm going to test to see what does a propeller do to your fingers, because that's really the thing. We all know that like this is an X8. Now, this is actually taken down a bit, so it's actually much heavier when it's actually flying.
Okay.
But this thing here, you can kill someone with it. Like if you hit them, they're gone. You know, like especially if you hit them in the head or something. This thing can go 200 miles an hour easy. You know, this thing can absolutely rip the sky. Oh yeah. Oh, these things can fly.
I thought the small one could go fast because that's massive
power, just massive amount of power. You know, just a massive amount of power. I use that for flying like a cinema camera. But I took that down because there's just not much opportunity to fly cinema cameras right now, and it's really tough to find a place to fly. Because, you know, the bigger they are, the more momentum they have and the faster they can go. And this is more space you need. But the blades on that thing, I'm pretty sure they'll chop your fingers off if you're like full throttle. And so that's like the one end of the spectrum, right? And then the other end of the spectrum is this right here. I actually designed this with Polymaker or Polymax now. I did use Polylite. But this right here, I mean, I think getting caught in a woman's hair is the most dangerous thing this thing can cause, right? That is a common occurrence. If you crash in someone's head, it's not going to hurt them. This is not going to hurt them, but it can get caught up in their hair. But other than that, it's pretty safe. So my son flies this. You can put your fingers in that, and you might blow the motors if by like stopping the motors so much, but it's not going to hurt you. But then you kind of go in. This is what the point of the video is like. Well, now this is a bit unknown realm of like, what about a 4S drone? You know, like what can this do, right? And so nobody really knows. It'll definitely probably cut you a little bit, but it wouldn't send you to the hospital.
So what especially do you mean sorry, because I really don't know anything about.
Go ahead.
You were saying the X8, now the 4S.
Oh, sorry. X8 is the number of motors. So X8 is there's 8 motors, 4 on the top and then 4 on the bottom. So it's coaxial. So they're spinning in opposite directions of each other.
Oh, X8.
So that they're not, yeah. And then this is I guess an X4,
right? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a big boy right there. But also like this is the theory of the video, and the reason why I'm going to make it is what is that? Inertia, momentum, torque. What is it with at the end of a spinning propeller? It's going to have more force than in the inside of it, right? What would that principle be? Is that torque?
More force.
Centrifugal force, something like that. But yeah, like if I touch the tip of the propeller spinning, it's going to be a lot more dangerous than if I put my finger directly into the center of the propeller, right? Because there's more something science word. But that's kind of the idea. Is that because of these little propeller guards here, they do one very important thing, and that is stop people from touching the business end of the propeller, which is the tip of the propeller, which would slice into your finger, as you're going. Because it's like this, it really mitigates a lot of the risk of getting cut up. There's drones like this right here. This is a racing drone, and these things don't have propeller guards because you want to go as fast as possible, and weight is everything. But if you were to, I've seen, pictures of what happens when you touch the business end of a propeller, like a 6S drone with 5-inch props. And yeah, you're getting stitches. Like it's going to cut you open like a Swiss cheese.
So 6S, how can you have only 6 motor or 3?
No, 6. So S is the number of cells. So right here, this is a 1S. This is a 1S, a little tiny 1S battery. And well, I got 6 of them right here. So if I were to wire these up in series, it would be a 6S motor or a 6S battery. Sorry.
So and X is the number of motor, S is the number of cells.
Yeah. That's it.
Now I can look cool, right? It's an NX.
You already are cool, man.
12S.
Oh no, there is 12S, but I've never flown it before. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's a pretty good. So maybe that leads me to the next question is. I guess in that industry, it's all about, that efficiency because the more battery, the more weight, but the more battery, the more power and durability. So have we found a sweet spot, or how do you do that calculation?
So, and I love that's where your mind went, because that's kind of where my mind went when I first joined. And you think that people would have the answer. And there's a lot. Listen, FPV is a hobby where there's a lot of younger kids kind of stepping into it. A lot of cool kids.
For people that don't know FPV, I checked
first person view.
First person view.
Yeah. So that's actually the whole. I mean, if there's more to FPV, there's FPV cars, there's FPV boats, but everyone just says FPV now when they're talking about an FPV drone usually. But that is. Yeah, the little camera here, you're like looking at it from first person view.
Okay.
The problem is, though, in FPV, there's a lot of people that step into it and they're great pilots, but they don't really know the science behind it. And so, but yet they, you have to learn a little bit to get into it. And so there's a lot of, what's that word where it's like old wives' tale? Not old wives' tale. There's a lot of like common advice that's not exactly rooted in science. And so I started asking these questions when I first stepped into the hobby of like what you just said right there. That's a great question. So what's the relationship between the battery, the power it provides, the motor, the KV, the prop size, like what's all, and you know what the answer is? This is flight, man. It's really complicated. There's so many variables that you need to be maybe even NASA engineers are still figuring this stuff out. So we're kind of in that. It's really, and that doesn't, if that seemed like I was saying that was a bad thing. No, that's awesome. It's like a frontier. There's still some things to discover and creativity to be had. And so like, well, for instance, this drone right here, you're like, why design your own drone? There's so many frames out there. There's thousands of frames, maybe even 1 million, who knows? But I was like, well, okay, well, one big thing I found was that the GoPro is a huge factor or the cinema camera is a huge factor in the flight performance due to the center of gravity. Okay, but then what happens when you open up this here? So I opened up the front end so I can stick the GoPro down and seat it down further down. And so it's not being top heavy. Well, how does that change the relationship? And also, do you need to have the motors like vertically constrained, or can they be kind of slightly angled off a little bit? And then what does that do? What happens with that? And in the end of the day, I found out that this concept is actually really awesome, because center of gravity is way more important than whatever efficiencies you would lose by having the motors not, lined properly or something. Like the back motors might get a little bit hotter because they're having to do a little bit more work, but ultimately the flight controller software can manage that and keep it, where you want it to be. But the center of gravity being like perfectly aligned, it's going to give you way more efficiency. And you can see this on what's called a pusher drone. So these motors are actually flipped upside down and pointing down. The props are still, in the right orientation, but the motor itself has been flipped upside down. And what that does, though, is if you see like the line from the props, is it puts everything above that. So these drones are pretty awesome for flying in indoor spaces and stuff, but they have really bad acro, which is like flying and flipping and doing like tricks and stuff, because the center of gravity is just, and there's no battery on this, but you can see the center of gravity is just like really bad on that. Whereas that one, the center of gravity is pretty much right down the middle. And so even though it's such a big drone, everyone that flies that's like, whoa, this thing feels like a 4-inch. And that's just like, so that's actually my newest design, which is using the GoPro 11 as a smaller version of that because, obviously not everyone wants to fly a giant death machine, right?
Yeah, that's true. And it's funny. I don't know what you guys think, but when I hear Dr. Quad talking about all of this, that completely reminds me of 3D printing. I don't know. We have something that is called Print Busters, and it's basically taking all the science of 3D printing and just discovering that we really know nothing actually. And then all of this common knowledge and stuff, and then we re-ask everything. And then we are talking about all of these factors, we have exactly the same. Like what temperature should I use for this material? Well, it depends on layer height, speed, and then how good the nozzle is, what material is on the nozzle, blah blah blah. Yeah. Then we end up in that. So I feel like in that sense, the drone industry and 3D printing are very, very similar.
Yeah, absolutely. And drone building, 3D printing can survive without drone building, but drone building can't really survive without 3D printing, at least not in the DIY realm. Sorry, again?
Laser cutting. I see a lot of people, they laser cut the frame.
What do you mean, like CNC?
Like the carbon frame, is that CNC? Is that laser cut or is that?
No, this is CNC. Yeah, this is CNC. So I can't do this myself. I'm starting to look into it, but so I get this from a guy, and then so you CNC the carbon fiber frame. But this is something that I've been testing out too, and why Polymax is pretty interesting. Sorry, Poly Pro, because I think Poly Pro is better for this. It's so stiff, and so this is actually completely 3D printed. This drone here. Now, smaller is easier because you're not going to have enough forces to cause, what's called resonance. So when those motors, if they're big motors, if they flex the frame in flight, it can cause like resonances that will screw up your gyro, and then your drone doesn't fly well, or does what's called a flyaway, by the way, which is like the scariest part of FPV, is the flight controller like helps you, right? There's a lot of different things that it does to control the PID and make sure that the drone's doing what you want it to do. But that also means that it can freak out sometimes. And for instance, when I was tuning my X8, the big boy, I flipped the switch to arm it, and I started giving it a little bit of gas, and it just went wow. And like it sounds fine now, but if you hear a thing that big doing that, it scared the piss out of me. Because I mean, it's very dangerous because the flight controller software had freaked out. I had done something wrong in the settings, right? Had screwed it up. But that can also be caused by resonances, because your gyro is what tells your flight controller what is going on. And if that's not accurate, things can get out of whack. And so obviously carbon fiber is really good for that because it's very stiff. It's not going to, those resonances aren't going to be so great. And everyone told me, you know, like, oh no, 3D printed frames suck. But I have tested this with carbon fiber frames and without. And I actually find the Polylite Pro to be better. And I don't know why. I have no idea why that would be.
That's funny, because we have another the user I sent to you via Instagram, the Dronosaur. He told us the same thing, but he doesn't know why either.
Yeah,
so
it doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
is that logically, like from a theoretical perspective, is that the rigier, like the more rigid, the better?
Well, okay, so then this is where I was like, wait, there might be something here I just thought about, and that is the vibration. So there's one thing you can do, and one thing you should do is you should dampen your flight controller. Here, actually, I might be able to help you out a little bit here. Hold on 1 second here. Flop and bloopity boop. Okay. Oh, nope, that didn't change. Hold on. This doesn't normally happen. Oh, there we go. All right, so let's get this close up here. So these little guys here, these are gummies, and they're used to isolate the flight controller from vibrations, which 99% of your vibrations are going to be coming from the motor, right? Okay. Passing through the frame and then going up into your... So you need to like isolate those vibrations by using gummies. And it's possible that the PLA Pro gives better vibration dampening than carbon fiber. That might be why it flies better. That's a theory. It's just a game theory.
We like theory.
Yeah, that's my best theory. Yes.
So vibration mostly comes from motors, and why motors give vibration, is that mainly from the quality of the blades?
Yeah, there's so many factors: quality of the build, quality of the blades, whether or not the motor's new, old. There's these little things. I think it's called runoff, when the motor has like spacers at the bottom of it, and you have to have a hole in the you have to have like a hole. Okay, you know, it's probably just better if I do this. Got it. Okay, I got it. You have to have a hole. There we go. In this, where am I at? Right there. You see that little hole there? Because inside the motor, this little thing spins, and that's for the spacers that have to keep the motor from wobbling back and forth. The funny thing is you actually don't need the bell of the motor to be connected in any significant way, because the magnets are so strong that they'll actually hold the motor on, but it causes play, right? As that motor's spinning, and then you get vibrations. Okay. So there's so many factors in that, and propellers are definitely one of them. Once I tried to make my own propellers, it's not a good idea. Here's why: you need precision. The propellers themselves need balanced perfectly. Yeah. Right. Yeah. The motors need to be balanced. There's so many different things. So yeah, like the older the motor is and the worse it is, the worse the flight performance. Which is why I'm sticking with Brother Hobby, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know NSGO? Can we use input shaping for drone? Do you know input shaping in 3D printing?
No, man, I love this. Oh my God, I love you guys. This is so great, man. This is what I've been looking for. Because like a lot of drone pilots, they don't want to do this. And not to be bad to them, but like it's a lot of work, and you can spend more time fiddling with the drone than you can actually flying. And if you're jumping into drones just because you want to fly, this is stupid. Like what we're doing now, right? Just pick up a drone, buy it, put it on, go have fun. But however, like for people like us, like this is where it's the real fun is for me, you know, like just like figuring out what you can do. And listen, you're going to do stupid stuff. It might cost you money, or it might just, you know, completely explode. But man, sometimes you find something pretty cool. Input shaping, that is such a really cool concept that I don't think anyone has ever thought about, because the printers use PIDs, don't they? Yeah, the printer uses a PID, correct? Am I wrong about that?
Using pitch?
PID? Yeah, PID is not...
Yeah, some of them. Yeah, correct.
And so it's kind of the same concept. Really, input shaping is what we call filtering. So we filter out the noise in the gyro, but we have to do that manually. Whereas when I did the tuning on my printer, it's like, and it does it all automatically, and it gives you a little graph. And I'm like, why can't we have that? Because my God, learning how to do the filters for these things it's still the mountain I haven't reached yet. It's so complicated. It's so complicated. When actually, if we could just do input shaping, that'd be awesome.
I guess that's the fun, right? And there is you were talking about oh, I think we just lost him. Can you still hear me? What I see is his video is loading, but I don't know if it's the whole stream or only on his side. Oh, he just lost the studio. You can hear me? Okay. Yeah, he will join back. Let me send him a message. Actually, we are arriving to the exciting part actually, and I hope that's just a minor issue because we are arriving to the exciting part because he prepared something for us. Everything okay? You can just join back when you are good. It's the great firewall causing issue. Actually, yesterday we were talking about VPNs and which one would be the most stable for today. So we let me put my screen to be like this. So we were talking about I mean, it's so funny that I didn't know we had that many people in that. Okay, there you go. So let me put him back in the stream. Okay, you good?
Oh my God, I thought I lost you forever.
Yeah,
it's already writing you a letter. I was going to stick it in the bottle. And send it out. Yeah,
I was actually saying because you were talking about it's not a very good idea to print blades. Do you know the fan showdown on YouTube? The fan showdown.
I love. Oh, we're gonna. Yes, everything you guys are talking about is so cool. Yes, I know that channel, and yes, it has inspired me. But I also kind of have my dreams crushed because I tried that, and it's really hard. I know what you're talking about. Yes, doing all sorts of cool custom, not just maybe propellers, but ducts. That's what really got me interested. Is trying to learn more about how what do they call the things that control the airflow? Shoot. I look like an idiot now. He was talking about it, but there's different types of the ones that go behind the airflow and ones that go in front of the airflow, and those all really change the dynamics. And we kind of know a little bit about this when it comes to the FPV community because, like, some drones have ducts here, like this one right here. Okay, so this is like a duct.
Shrouds.
Well, originally with like an airplane, it's meant to control the turbulence at the tip of the propeller as it's spinning. So, but you have to have the tolerances are insane, and the bigger the motor gets, the less that tolerance actually matters because like ratio. So the smaller you get, the more that blade basically has to be scraping the inside to actually get the benefits of a duct. So that can't really be possible, especially since 3D printing isn't that accurate, right, at this level. So people did away with these. This is like an old design that my customer he sent to me, and it's no good. So now what we do is just prop guards. However, I've still not quite given up on the concept because a big part of what's called prop wash, which is when you're, and actually I'll show you in here a second, when you're coming down and you're coming into your own turbulent air, it and it flies like crap. So, a lot of my customers that order 5-inch drones, I'll go out in the field and I'll tune it for hours, just trying to find that perfect balance between performance and keeping the motors cool. Because, pushing the motors to their limit. Because changing the speed of the motor really quickly, as you need to do to kind of like mitigate all that various motion that you're not telling the drone to do, but it's doing because of prop wash. So that's what the PID does. That's what the flight controller does. It says, okay, well, this is how we should treat that. But of course, the more you give it commands and the more it has to like quickly change its rotation speed and things like that, and its braking, it can heat up. So you just need to like find that perfect balance. And just the other day, actually, I tuned this guy's drone. He's like one of my best friends, says I was really happy. And it's just the best drone I've ever flown. I mean, you could rip to the sky, turn around and come on your own turbulent air and just right back and right at it. But you can only do that with a 5-inch. You have to have a power to weight ratio that's pretty high. Otherwise, you can't expect too much.
Yeah. Chewy, does it stabilize at high speed with the guards?
Okay, so the Avata. Oh man, actually my most popular video on YouTube, which was just literally, I just turned the camera on and started ranting at the camera. was about me ranting about the Avata, the DJI Avata, which, listen, there's pretty cool things that DJI does that really onboards a lot to the FPV community, but there is also a lot that's really stupid. And the Avata, I don't know if you guys know about this, but if you spin too fast, it will flip out. It will turn itself upside down and then launch itself into the ground or the ocean, wherever it is. And that's actually because of the prop guards and what you're talking about. When you're turning like this, because here's one interesting thing. Your camera tilt determines how fast you're going. So if I tilt this camera up like that, I'm going to be going really fast, because when I'm actually moving forward and what I'm seeing is horizontal, it will, be doing that. So when you turn, you're not just turning like this, you're turning like this, and you're turning into your own turbulent air, which is why the Avata flips out if you turn too fast when you're going kind of fast. If you're cruising along, you can spin as much as you want because you're not actually hitting that turbulent air. But if you're doing this, and so this is actually one of the toughest things about FPV, because the DJI the gimbal will center itself. But in FPV, we don't have that. We have fixed cameras. So the relationship of yaw, which is this here, to roll, which is this here, will change the faster you go. And that's real. It's really tough sometimes. It throws you for a loop. If I fly like hit this, I'll input my stick this way and it'll turn. If I'm flying like this, I'll input my stick this way and it'll do that. It'll like rotate me up and like, whoa, that's not what I want. I actually want roll. So actually yaw and roll invert from 90 degrees if you're flying like this for some reason, and then straight up. And so that's really the cool nature of it. But that also now, as you can see, now we're into a realm of like, well, how do you mathematically or make any sense of how that performs? You just
I mean, you cannot imagine all the correlation I'm making with 3D printing, because you have like exactly what you said. I was imagining like the printer going faster, and when a printer goes faster, you have to change all the settings basically. And then when it goes back down, then again, and the problem is the slicers are not smart enough to do that. And you have exactly the same that's amazing how similar the industries are. And then it's funny you're talking about that camera. Like, does that mean like I was watching like races, like professional races for FPV drones, and they are literally, I think like almost vertical. And then does that mean they have a camera like how do they do at the beginning? Like how is the camera?
Landing and takeoff is really difficult with that drone. So let's try to imagine this. When and this is not even like a full race tilt. When I'm flying like this and I want to land, I need to be something like this, maybe even up a little bit to arrest my movement to kind of start going down. I'm looking at the sky. I have no notion of what I'm looking at, and like usually when you're landing, I'm gonna look at something. I'm gonna use that as kind of a point to know like where I'm at, and to kind of center myself. But so what racers usually do, it's pretty cool, is they'll come in like to where they want to land. Let's say they want to land on my hand here. They'll come in so they can see it in their mind's eye, and then they'll do a quick turnaround and flop down and just cut the motors. And usually they have like a soft mat or something where they can kind of
Okay. Well, I get we lost him again. Yeah, sorry. He's I think he might come from the VPN, because I think he changed VPN just before, and so I guess that's it. So sorry for that. 360 camera. That could be. I don't know. 360 camera are basically multiple cameras, right? And he was saying weight is an issue. So I guess, but you know what I'm most excited about is I want to do a stream specifically on the learning side, because there's so much. Like, did you see how much did you see how much correlation when Dr. Core was talking about the drone thing? So I want to do that stream. I was telling them that I would like to do a stream where we focus only on learning. Like now we're talking about your stories, and then the different stories you had with drones and stuff. But maybe we could do a very technical one, like very advanced. And then, because there's a lot of people that would like to learn. Like, I'm so happy that now if I go to someone and he's telling me, hey, I'm flying X5 or something, I'm like, yeah, 5 motor, yeah, I know.
No, 5 motors possible. In fact, you could have any number of motors. Like with the helicopter, you have 1 motor technically, but you need something to stop that from stop you from spinning. That's in the back of a helicopter, right? That little blade back there is to reverse the direction you want to go from the spinning, right? You have two bladed helicopter. Is that possible? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure people would really love to go really technical. I mean, usually on my Thursday stream, we spend like 3 hours, 4 hours frying our brain around like 3D printing stuff, scientific. So I think people would really love to do the same with drones. That would be amazing. And I was about to say before you drop that, it's like I guess it's a habit of flying a FPV drone, because when you are walking, you basically don't see where you put your feet, right? But it's kind of you see it before, and you just remember. And I guess for drone is the same. You just used to the environment of the drone. We know our own environment, but they usually have these VR casts, right? These VR.
Yeah.
VR,
Can you get my goggles back?
Oh, you
Yeah,
have
usually. Yeah,
cool.
of course. Like, well, when I fly indoors, I fly my son's drone.
Yeah.
But when I fly like professionally, I use DJI goggles, and so you put them on there, and you're in there, and it's an HD signal too, so it looks way better. The problem is though, is that the actual unit itself. I think I even have one right here. Yeah, the actual unit itself is kind of heavy for these smaller drones. So yeah, here's the goggles right here. Cat, gotta have a cat sticker on because cats always land on their feet. So yeah. No.
It's like a spin to sell. Is a spin to sell?
Oh yeah. That's actually, this is Maple Wireless here, which is a company here that's it's not well known in America, but these are the best antennas you can get because
What's
they
the name?
use
What's the name again?
Maple Wireless. Fantastic, really good stuff. But these are the best antennas because they account for bounce path, or it's multipathing. When your left hand or right hand polarized antenna, so the signal's spinning, right? When it hits a wall, it can reverse that spinning. So when it comes back, you need to. So this is actually using left hand and right hand polarized antennas, so you get both of those signals, and that's a effect that we call ground effect. When you're flying low to the ground, or even worse, low to like the ocean or something, you can get reflections. Your signal can reflect, and then you lose signal all of a sudden, like just for no reason. Poof, it's gone. And of course that happens. You're in the ocean now. So yeah, and that's the worst. You ain't getting the drone back.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So tricopters. I don't know what is tricopters. I guess 3 motors.
Three.
Is that possible?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's 6. There's what's it called? Y6, I think they call it. Where there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 in the front and 1 in the back, and they're like coaxial. Pretty cool. The problem is though, and this is the main issue, if you're an engineer, the sky's the limit. Like if you know how to code or if you know how to use these softwares, but like for most like prosumers, you're going to use a software called Betaflight, and like all the tutorials and all that stuff, it's mostly set up for either X8 or X4. Yeah, it's just much easier to control your movement, and the software is simpler too, because when you have 4 points, you have all the 3-dimensional control.
Yeah. Well, I guess the lowest amount I've seen is Mark Roberts' video where he made a X2, on his phone. I don't know if you watched that video.
Oh yeah. I
guess that's the lowest amount of and it's still stable.
It's definitely. Did he actually get the phone to fly?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he did. I had to go rewatch that because I know like the video that he was making fun of. It's like I saw that too, and it's just like,
well, yeah.
There's no way. Well, like shoot, like look at these motors. These motors are probably 10 times more powerful than what they had in that video. And yet this thing here, when I'm like pulling out my thing to weigh, I'm like, I saved a gram. Oh my God, yes, a gram. I've done it. I'm a genius. Like every gram counts when you get down to that size of a motor. When you're on something big like that, 30, 40 grand. But like, okay, for instance, take a look at this. Hey, where's Lucas's X5? Or not X5, the 5-inch? Where's that bad boy at?
Do you think you can try lightweight PLA? I mean, it's going to break at the first impact, but maybe...
Yeah, you sent me some, and I'm going to give it a shot. But that's another factor, too, is the components can be pretty expensive. So I will deal with less flight performance, but to protect those components better, which is why, to me, PolyLite Pro and PolyMax are something special. PolyLite Pro is pretty amazing. In fact, I printed these right here at a PolyLite Pro, and they're lighter than anything else that I've seen coming even close to it, and they're incredibly strong. In fact, actually, here, let's have some fun with this. Oh yeah, this is a 5-inch here. This is probably the most standard FPV drone. right?
It,
So
it looks
these
heavy.
motors can carry a GoPro 10 or GoPro 8 and a
Is
battery.
it as heavy as it look, or
Well, here, let's actually see. I don't know if my scale will go that high.
it looks pretty heavy with
Let's
like
see.
bulky compared to the
Here we
this.
go. We got 663 grams.
Less than a
But that's
kg.
without the battery. Yeah, that's without the battery. So with the battery, we're looking probably around 200, 300 more grams. So
Okay,
about a
so
kg. Yeah, about a kg. Yeah. But this thing, these are dangerous. You hit someone with this and you're going to do some damage. So you got to be really careful. Usually you never fly around people with those things. Right.
Did you just say it was your son drone, the dangerous one?
No. This is that's a customer's drone. This is my son's drone. Well, actually, my son has upgraded to a 3S drone. I gave him a 3S. So every battery cell you add is going to add, because the motors, they spin according to how much of the cell. So if you put a 4S battery on this, these motors are going to spin faster than if you put a 3 cell. But this is what my son flies now.
I thought the more cell, the more durability, the more longevity. But actually, it's power plus.
Yeah, it's an interesting relationship, because it's a heavier battery, because you just stacked on another battery, and there is a sweet spot. Sorry, that was the original question. Now I'm remembering. Yeah, that was your original question. Is there a sweet spot? Yes. And for some things like 5 inches, that sweet spot has pretty much been cornered through use case scenario. But for some things, it's not really been cornered yet. And so you just have to do testing yourself. Not that hard to test, but everything that you incorporate into that factor will change the relationship of it all. And your findings become irrelevant, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna break this now, because this is actually an old design, but this is the Polylight Pro at 10% infill. So this is what really just got me so excited about this in that video. I was definitely not making a joke out of it, because like this should, already just from the force that I put on this, you're not going to do that with a 2S drone. Maybe if you fall off the Empire State Building, you're not going to give it that much force. It's a very light drone, so it doesn't have a lot of momentum. But you could just
exactly.
As hard as I possibly could, and the worst that I can do was crack this little side right here. That's insane. That's just that. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Now, if you take something like this right here, and this is the crap that you buy from Bind and Flies. Here, let's just, this is just infinitely easier to smush and to squish. And so there goes all your components right there, gone. Not to mention too, look at the flex of it. Okay, I did just bend that part, but let's even just look at something I didn't bend right here. The flex of this is pretty intense.
And
this is the motor flexing.
Is not very good, right?
Bad flight. People have no idea. Like my customers that have bought these drones from me are like, oh my God. I'm like, well, yeah. Like unless you buy a custom with like a carbon fiber frame or something, you know what a really good quad feels like. The problem is though, is that when you first start out, if you only fly this kind of crap, that's what you experience and that's what you think is cool. Hey, it's no matter how you're flying, if you're up in the air, it's cool. But then you go into something like this, and let's look at the flex here on like something like this. Like that's insanely good. Like you're not going to flex that, and even if you do flex that a little bit, like it's not going to affect the flight performance, because here's my. This is actually a frame design where the motors are going to be housed, and that is pretty freaking good for a 2S drone. This wouldn't be enough for a 5S. Or for a 5-inch or a 6S, but for a 2S, that's pretty good. So my testing next is going to be to print a frame for 5-inch drones and to see if it's possible. I know other people have done it, but I think that they may not have taken some principles into account, and that is you need to minimize the horizontal. So this is the horizontal plane, and this is the vertical plane. Your goal is to minimize as much horizontal material as you possibly can to cut back on weight and maximize the vertical, because the vertical is what matters. You're not going to be bending these things like this, like in upon themselves, right? You're not going to be bending. That's actually pretty freaking strong. Oh shit, I don't think I can do that. I don't know if I could break that. I feel like that guy from Napoleon Dynamite, when he's trying to like break the Tupperware and his wife's looking at him disappointingly. So, but like obviously I could break it this way.
Yeah.
Still pretty good though, but I could break it this way. So that's your goal. And I don't think anyone else really is kind of doing that, because I see them thickening up this part. I'm like, well, yes, that technically does make it stronger in the vertical, but it's not efficient. And when you're printing something that's not carbon fiber, you need to be super efficient, because you're going to be having to add more material than you would need with carbon fiber, right? So that's the Now, why would you do that? For 5-inch, and this is just being fair, I don't think there's no reason. Carbon fiber is just the way you want to go if you're going to be flying expensive gear up in the air. It's stronger. I don't think it's possible for 3D printing to get that strong. Not yet. Mm-hmm. However, when it comes to these smaller drones, actually, I think 3D printing is better because a little bit of flex is good. Because you're not giving it enough force to break it. You want it to kind of flex and bend so that it's not like causing a lot of vibrations or sending those up through the flight controller or something like that. And that's why I actually think Polymax might be my favorite. I like Polylite Pro for the 2S because it's really great. But for the 1S, and here, let's actually fly here after this. Man, this is fantastic because there's just a little bit of flex in it. So it's perfect. I mean,
well, I guess it's supposed to be is it broken?
No, it just bounced off the table. Ridiculous.
Yeah. It's supposed to be not unbreakable, but it will just bend. Like even if you force it, it will not shatter. It will just bend basically.
What's that principle? There's like I'm watching that one guy. There's a 3D printing guy. He's from like the Netherlands or something. I forget. And he tests like the strength and stuff. And he talks about there's the point at which it bends, which if you let go, it'll bend back. But then there's a point when if you keep bending it, it will like you're
fantastic deformation. Yeah.
Well,
actually, just something before I forget. We're talking about the 1 gram is very important. Then I think I don't know how deep you went into the 3D printing setting, but I'm sure we have a lot of smart people in our Discord that could help you to have the same frame. Like playing around with infield orientation, maybe tweaking the G code, just to save a few more grand with the same rigidity. I'm sure.
Yes.
I'm sure
that's such a good video, and B, such an awesome thing. That hell yes, that is what I really need. Is friends and colleagues that we just work together to create something that we couldn't create on our own. And that just comes through having a community like this. So I'm pretty excited. Like this is yes.
If you have the frame STL, if it's shareable, you just put it on Discord, and then you tell them, okay, I got it down to this. You just a few requirements, and then you let people, and they will love to go and tweak the setting, and then we'll come up with the perfect frame for you.
Yes, that's so exciting because, hey, I'm a competitive guy too. Like I love the thought of everyone just working together to make this frame like super light, like back when I was a kid in high school and, doing the bridge, in engineering class and just like trying to make your bridge as light as possible and as strong as possible. I love that. To me, like, school is kind of useless in a lot of ways these days, but man, there's one thing you can't get away from being just invaluable is being able to be surrounded by your peers and have them push you and teach you and grow you. And that's awesome. So I'm really grateful to be part of this community. And yes, that is such a good idea. Okay. I will pass this up today.
Yeah, no, definitely. Bang Discord in the chat to get to the Discord. And there is also a Dr. Quad Discord, which give me a second.
Not super important, my Discord. It'll take time, honestly. It's a Discord. The Polymaker Discord, by the way, is really impressive for how much interaction you guys have. So yeah.
Oh, we have a very active community. I love the community. It's amazing. These people are so smart. They share. They help each other. They're all what I was picturing about a community. That's exactly how it is. So I just share, guys. I just shared the Dr. Quad Discord, and you bang Discord for the Polymaker Discord. And I think so. Yeah, maybe one quick announcement. Dr. Quad agreed to be our application ambassador for our RC drone channel. So if you go on our Discord, if you have to customize your Discord, we have an unlimited amount of channel. So you go to customize server, and then you select the server, the channels you want to opt in. And in application, there is RC drone. So if you want to learn more about RC drone, then you go in that channel, you opt in, and then you will have Dr. Crad there, and then he will if there's any question, and then he's going to drop the STL file. So if you want to play around and help out on reducing 1 gram, 2 gram, 3 gram, 5 gram, and then it's the summum of the lightweight, right? So,
I'll pass this too. This one's probably the most important because the prop guards are really where the weight. Well, honestly, both of them working in conjunction together, there is a perfect way, I think, and you guys are gonna help me find that. Yes.
Oh, I'm sure we can bring all of the 3D printing brand together to get that additional gram off the frame
Yeah.
without losing performance.
And well, also, if you guys all out there, I know Zombie Hedgehog, you too, like we should definitely make some sort of content around this, because I've seen some videos of 3D printing drones, but never a scientific approach. It's always been like, hey, look, I made a 3D printed drone, and how cool that is. And it is cool, but to take a scientific approach with really good material and say, well, can we actually compete with carbon fiber and like traditional drones? And well, how high can that go? The 2S, listen, 1S drone, I think the answer is yes, absolutely. There's no reason for carbon fiber at this frame. 2S, okay, yeah, maybe, 3S, maybe 4S, maybe. I think 4S, maybe 6S, right? So that's going to be so cool to really push the limit and see what we can do.
Yeah, agree. So, guys, I think Dr. Crowd has prepared something for us. Is that correct?
Indeed, Reno. Okay. Oh man. Yeah. See, now I got to perform. Okay, so we're gonna see if this is working here, and don't get your hopes up, because you know how it is. No, I'm just joking. It should be just fine. So I have this rigged up to an analog system, and this is analog FPV. I don't like it personally. Oh, sorry, my controller's yelling at me. Because when you're flying with the goggles, you don't see the controller, so you need it to yell at you to tell you what's going on. So it'll actually tell me what's going on sometimes.
Do you have the what is the one in airplane? Terrain.
It's somewhere on here. Yeah, there's a whole audio list of all the things that it can say, and you can program it to say whatever you want it to say. Like, for instance,
brace.
Yeah, brace. But you can actually replace it. You can replace it with your own audio files. And my goal eventually is going to be to make my own, like, ridiculously stupid. Actually, here, when I turn my drone on, or my controller on, this is actually me. Yeah. I don't know if you heard that or not, but yeah. So you could do that, and I'm gonna have my wife do some funny commentary or something. But okay, so we're gonna turn this on. I need to do one thing though, and that's ask some 3D printing awesome dudes to teach me how to make a better mounting point for this camera, because it gets loose because you tilt it up and down, right? And that causes the screws to get loose. So annoying.
Oh, okay.
Someone help me with that.
Yeah,
okay,
here
we go.
And we also have some incredible 3D modeler as well. If you need some help on that. Oh.
Let's show up.
Nice. Okay, so that's your lab, right?
Oh yeah. Here we go. Oh, we're good. We're good. We're saved. Poly light. This is all just a commercial for the Polymax.
Terrain.
My camera tilt is a little high for flying indoors.
Ooh.
But we'll just try to do it.
That was the small one, right? Yeah. The
yeah, this is the tiny one. I actually fried the 2S, so it's got sent back yesterday. The 2S honestly is a little bit more power than you would want for flying indoors. This is absolutely the best. Oh, little bump, little Polymax promotion there. That's what I'm gonna call crashes from now on.
How long can you fly this? Oh,
I'm pushing it.
Flying? Like, how can you go through small holes like this?
I'm not gonna say it. Sorry, sorry. I don't know if anyone. There's a Michael Scott joke that was going to be inserted there in a second. Oh, we're good. Sorry. Okay. How long? I've been flying for about 6 months now.
6 months? Okay.
Yeah.
But like every day, or?
I try to. I get kind of depressive. I don't fly every day because I spend a lot of time on the computer, indoors, and stuff like that. And as you can see, my studio is a fortress of sadness when it comes to like the light situation. But so I try to get outside. It's great exercise, by the way, FPV, because the range of this is not that far. In fact, actually, next battery, I'll take you guys outside. The range of these drones is not as far as a DJI like Mavic Mini or something like that. So if you want to like dive a mountain or dive a waterfall or something, then you need to hike up that mountain, find the right spot to do it. And, often you're carrying 40 pounds of gear on your back. And so it's a lot of exercise.
Here's a challenge. How about you? You don't have battery anymore? I want you. Do you think you can get it on your camera, like behind you or something, and just move behind you?
Yeah. Okay. I got lots of batteries here. I've charged a whole bunch. You
Okay.
just gotta
Okay.
swap them out. How long was that? That was pretty much an average flight time for flying sort of slow. That's definitely not fast flying, by the way. It may look
What was
fast because I'm inside, but man,
Okay.
that's slow compared to what I usually do. But you need more space if you're gonna fly like that.
So that was with that was 1S or 2S, the time.
Yeah, I will show you guys one thing pretty cool. You know what? Hold up a sec. All right, one more battery, and then I'm gonna let you hear what my sin lifter sounds like.
Okay.
Just prepare your eardrums, okay? It's not raining. All right, open up that door.
Okay, guys. So we're gonna have look at his camera, and then the drone is gonna hoof over behind him.
Disarm motors. Disarm.
Terrain. And maybe you can explain a little bit the information you have on screen at the same time. I see the battery.
Oh, okay, yeah. So the battery, the name of the drone.
Oh, that's so cool. Look at the camera, guys, behind him. Can you go close? Oh, that is so cool. Oh, I love that.
I'm gonna make you one, bro. Just when you get back to Shanghai, send me your address.
That is so cool.
Hey, there's my wife.
Hi.
Open up your legs, babe. What? That? Sorry, keep it PG. Oh, here come. Oh no. Ready. I'm gonna fly under your legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I'm a big kid when I fly. This is so much fun. Now, the range is pretty crap, but for DJI, the range is like 20 times better, and the video quality is a lot better as well. Like, it doesn't have the flickering on the screen and stuff. That's all just because this is an analog system. But analog systems are much lighter than DJI.
Back behind you. That's so cool.
And once I get into the zone, I can get into the zone, right? You gotta like shake off the cobwebs.
Is that behind you? Let me see. Yeah.
Dun 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 dun. Oh, yeah. Wow.
I mean, you do that every day, but I love that.
No, listen. I'm definitely gonna send you one of these, and you're gonna have to just like fly this every day with me.
Oh, I saw a question in chat. Do you rate?
No, Polymax, right there, baby. Let's go.
Polymax PLA advertisement. Yeah. Go.
I mean, listen. I'm not just saying this. Like, I know that you guys are gonna take this with a grain of salt because I'm on a Poly, maker channel. This is nuts, man. You know how many of these frames my son has broken? Not the Poly one, but the 3D printed with the Creality. No, the Creality PLA was pretty good for a while. Maybe 20. Maybe 20 or more. How many of the original ones that you buy, by the way, for 80 RMB on Taobao? No way, man. No way. I couldn't afford it because I want my kid to fly. And also, like, I started getting kind of a little bit more like negative when they crashed, because I was like, hey, man, take it easy. Slow down. You control your throttle. Like, God damn it. I'm trying to buy a new one. But then ever since I started doing this, I'm like, yo, fly, man. And so he was like, really? I'm like, yeah, crash, dude. Go ahead. And that really just opened the door to him to just have fun with it. And so, take that with a grain of salt. Here I am on a Polymaker channel, but I got to say it, try it out for yourselves. I will put this up there for everyone. This thing has not broken yet. The Poly Light Pro did break after maybe 50 crashes the other day because my son fell 40 feet he hit a tree and it fell down and hit the pavement, and it finally broke a little bit there. But this one has not. In fact, you know what? Let's put my money where my mouth is. Let's do this. Let's see it.
Can you... is there any expensive component on this one? Like, can you purposely
the board? The motors are not too expensive, but the board is like $100 and something bucks, which is in China. That's like, dang, man, it's too much. But at the end of the day, listen, the board has survived this entire time. I had this board now for about 4 months. So listen. If you're flying every day, $100 for 6 months of fun, you'd spend more on one night in the bar than that, right? So it's worth it. But for me personally, I have so much equipment and all of it has to kind of work. And so it sucks when something breaks, but you just, but hey, let's do
that. Before you go, let's do that. If you can buy that one, right now, it's in stock. The board that it's the most.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So
if you're trying to buy it from my Taobao store.
Okay, you can do that. You can purposely crash at high speed, and if the board breaks, I will just buy a new one for you. I want to see.
That was a pretty tough crash right there. I don't know. That was pretty tough. That was right into the wall.
I didn't even have time to finish.
It's the video signal still going. All right, go ahead. That was, yeah.
Let's go. Let's just
Come
smash
on.
this in the wall
Nothing?
again and again.
And this is what's really crazy about the Poly Max is sometimes if you crash. Look at
It's
that.
still going. Okay, let's go
Still
again.
going. Well,
Yeah.
I have to unplug and replug because this is set up for my son's controller, and my transmitter is not set up the same. So what you need is called a pre-arm, and that's a safety feature where I arm the pre-arm, and then also I'm like, he told me I was not focused there. Sorry. I arm the pre-arm and then I arm it and it arms. And so if I disarm, which you should by the way do, when you crash, if you don't disarm, you can burn the motors out. So if I disarm though, I can't rearm until I unplug. That's only because I'm flying my son's drone. When I have my drone set up, that's not an issue.
What if you go high and then you just let it go? Do you have space for?
Oh yeah. Honestly, that's it right there, isn't it? Let's do a.
And then.
Polymaker, baby, let's go. Give me an affiliate link. Let me see.
Is that deformed?
We'll see. Here, let me unplug it. Yeah, you also. Oh, the battery. The battery, by the way. But this is just my particular design.
Yeah.
Because the you can have a better battery protection. But I like the lighter weight, and normally I don't crash like that. But that actually look how heavy that crash was. That completely deformed the battery.
Yes.
But look at this. Perfect.
Still there? Okay, the camera is intact.
Nothing wrong with it. Yeah, here, let's see if it works. I mean, did the board take damage? The batteries are sacrificial. These are like 7 Kwai a piece, so I don't really care so much about them. But like the actual board is well protected in here with this design.
Okay.
I think there's something wrong. Awesome. Oh no, there's something wrong. Yeah, it's too awesome to handle. That's what's wrong with it. Let's go. Man, you guys should hire me as your marketing guy. No, I'm like the flex tape. This is the flex tape commercial. That's a lot of damage. Can we get control? Oh yeah, baby. I hit the motor pole on my big drone. Yeah, this is infinite fun, by the way, guys. If you're a big kid, yeah. Now, I would say this, though. Be careful of the bind and fly crap. Oh, no, we got it. No, so that's what happens. The reason why I couldn't regain control is because the flight controller is trying to take over because there's things happening to the drone. It's spinning, but I'm not telling it to do that. So it thinks that that's wind or something. So it tries to compensate, and then it loses track of what's going on. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, be careful of the bind and fly stuff. What you're seeing me do right now, you couldn't do with a drone that you buy from Beta FPV or. Listen, it's not a bad buy because if you're new to the hobby and you just want to fly it, you don't want to fiddle around with the components, then you pretty much have no choice other than to do that or to find a custom builder, which I recommend. However, if you're someone like me, which I think that's exactly who this audience is people who love DIY, build it yourself. Build it yourself and construct it with good components, and it will survive all of these crashes. But you don't know how many of these tiny drones I have in my queue to fix that people send me because they blow. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Would it explode? The battery might explode. Actually, that battery might have taken fatal damage there.
So how much in total to get that running? Because I see it looks like your remote control.
Let's do a virtual tour here of the parts. Okay, so obviously the drone. I sell this drone for $950 for the. Sorry, this one's $850. The 2S is $950. This one's like $850 RMB. So like about $100 for everything you need on the drone. That's something that you buy for the drone or whatever. But then a one-time cost is going to be. Let me see if I can stabilize here. A one-time cost is going to be your receiver. I use this, which is really cheap. This is it's what's called a Xiaofei. It's a little receiver for your video. Then, of course, you need the transmitter. Then, of course, you need the transmitter. And the transmitter is this right here. And then that's it. That's all you need. Now, analog is much cheaper than DJI, but DJI, man, it's so like what you're seeing now is decent, but it's a whole other ball game when you step into the world of DJI. It looks, I mean, you're looking at it like a HD image.
Is it the kit that you were talking about? Is it accessible from the US?
Yeah. Well, okay, like here's what I recommend. Okay, buy the Zorro, the Radio Master Zorro, which is a great ELRS. So ELRS is the communication protocol to control it. So you get the Zorro ELRS version. It's a fantastic little controller. My son has it here. It's really good. It's smaller than the big one I have. So it's a lot, it's a lot more manageable. Like I like this one because this one does a lot I need for professional stuff. But this is what you're gonna need for flying for fun. Then get yourself Sky Zone goggles if you got a little extra cash, because it's actually goggles you can put on. Or get yourself a DJI goggles, the version 2, the ones before the new ones. These are the ones that came out like last year or the year before, or whatever. Get these if you want to go DJI, which I do recommend if you got the money and you're serious at FPV. There's nothing that compares to how good that looks. I can't show you yet. Maybe next time I'll rig it up to connect to the computer. But if you want to save a lot of money, you get yourself a Hawkeye, which is this little connector, the video transmitter, and that's pretty much all you need. And then as far as the drone goes, listen, this is the Polymaker stream. Build it yourself. It's so much better. Yeah, I'll pass this this up to limited time only, because normally this is for Patreons only. But I want you guys to help. You guys can pay me back by helping me perfect it.
Oh, we will. We will have. And by the way, let me do something. Here's Dr. Quart's Patreon, and then what we're gonna do is we'll work with Dr. Quat to get maybe some kind of bomb or like some kind of information for anyone that wants to get going. Yeah. Then you just have to follow, like, buy the kit, and then you have the channel available to build the kit if you have any question. And how do you think about that, Daniel? If we work out like a step by step, like I need to buy this kit and then this remote and something.
Yeah.
And then,
I actually am working on a series on my channel, FPV Zero to Hero kind of thing, because someone called me out in a comment and I thought it was a good idea to make a know nothing to flying. But there's one, and that's why it needs to kind of be a video series and not just like a list of things to buy, because here's the thing. There's a lot involved in it. And I would say it's very much akin to 3D printing. Like you're going to have to learn some stuff. And also flying itself is not like flying a DJI. If you fly a DJI Mavic, it's not the same, because every movement you give on these sticks, it translates into the drone. If I were to stop doing anything, well, that's exactly what happened outside. It would just fall out of the sky, because you need to be telling it what to do at every single given point. It's like flying a helicopter or a plane or something. You can't just, planes actually can. Anyways, the point is that it's really complicated, but it's not like, it's not so complicated that once you step your foot into the door, which is that first step is always a little bit tough in FPV, but once you get your foot into the door, I imagine every person here is just gonna be like, whoosh, and I'll be calling them, hey, how do I do this thing here? Because that's what's so cool about this realm of 3D printing and FPV. It is so new and ever evolving. And that if you sit back and think you're the best because you did it one time, like then you're going to watch all these awesome people just. But if you're like us and you have the mindset of learning and growing, it's not like I look at people doing stuff cooler than me and I think, oh crap, I'm not so good, or even like, I don't like competition. It's more like, awesome. Let me go bug the hell out of that person and get him to teach me how to do it. Which, by the way, Zombie Hedgehog, lithophanes, I'm coming for you soon, buddy. he offered to help teach me lithophanes, and I'm like, you have no idea what kind of monster you've unlocked. Pretty annoying. Like, hey man, my buddy El Chong, I messaged him at like 6 a.m. this morning, just bugging the hell. Hey man, you know about VPNs, don't you? He's a cool guy. He got up and he helped me immediately. Yeah.
Awesome. NSGO, Dr. Quartz, do you sell on Taobao? I believe so.
Yes, Taobao sells. Let's go.
Well, we don't have. I think only NSGO here can buy from Taobao. So.
Well, I do sell on my Patreon. The reason why I sell on Patreon, like I sell drones on Patreon, and like if you just want to support me and get access to my 3D designs and stuff, like $5 on Patreon, whatever. But if you want to buy like a proper drone, which I got a lot of pre-orders on Patreon for this drone here, which I'm still waiting, because Brother Hobby actually worked with me to make motors specifically for this drone. But this drone is going to be pretty cool. I do sell this on Patreon, but I'm just going to be straight up with you. the cost of shipping from China to America, you're gonna have to pay for that, and that's usually something like $30-$40 just for shipping. But I keep the prices. My prices are pretty low because awesomely I've been able to work with a manufacturer. So I'm trying to get to the point where I can mass produce and take over the world. But we're not there yet.
If you want to get into drone, I will post again the Patreon, so you can. If you are in China, you can get it from Taobao.
Super cheap. Super cheap in China.
Then go and join the Patreon, and you'll be able to get is that a kit, right? It's a kit you can get from there.
Yeah, I do sell the whole kit. Like I have a lot of people. There's one guy from Uganda, or not Uganda, Uruguay, who bought like the whole kit, and it's pretty easy. But I can't send you batteries anymore.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, it's just the name of the kit. They stopped being able to internationally ship batteries. But I can send you to my friends in America who have the batteries, and it's really good price. I do recommend, by the way, Dogcom batteries. There's no other brand out there. Dogcom, love you. What's up? Yeah.
Awesome.
Wait, before you let me go. Hold up. Just one thing. Just to hold up a sec. Hold up a sec.
Go ahead.
Give me a 6. We got a 6 battery right here, don't we? Yeah. Okay.
And by the way, guys,
see if I don't kill somebody or break my studio. So this right here. Let me put my headset on, so I don't have to hear it, but you do. This right here is a big boy. This is a big boy. It may seem kind of small and compact, but this is an X8. You guys ready to hear this?
Okay. Eight motors. Okay.
I finished this drone a while ago with me and a buddy. We were on a stream, and then we plugged it in to test it, and we just started laughing hysterically because this thing is so flipping loud. It's a problem. It's like why I have to take this drone apart. This drone is meant to fly a cinema camera around people, right? Because you don't want the exposed propellers around people like you're flying for a movie, your talent, right? But there's one big problem. Everything's great about this drone, but if you're flying for a movie, how the heck? Like it's so loud. Yeah, but here we go. Let's let me strap this in.
Is it the noise come from the fact that there's too much vibration?
No, I think it's the ducts. I don't really know. There's some smart people. I think it's the ducts. I don't know what's really going on there, but
okay.
Let's get it done.
Okay, audio. Make sure. Audio alert.
We good?
Oh.
So you have different kind of protocols for flying a drone. One of those protocols is Express LRS, and one of them is Crossfire, which is what this uses. So you can swap the modules out. Oh gosh, where's my Crossfire at? It should be in my bag.
Someone, Zombie or Mark on YouTube. Is there someone on YouTube that
Here we go.
deal with the bot? Please?
What's my thought on those mini selfie quads? Poop. Don't do it.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Something's wrong. Look at this. This normally doesn't happen. Oh, yeah. So, no. What happens is that because I plugged in the protocol after the drone had gone through its like search phase, it had already decided that it wasn't connected and it wasn't going to be connected. So actually, what I need to do is turn off the transmitter and turn it back on again. Here we go. I just hope that I hope they don't cut my face off. That'd be great content for your video, though.
No, not at all. Thank you, Azumi.
Hold up a sec. Here we go. All right, yeah. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of tension now, isn't there? Oh, see, I'm so nervous right now. I just turned my controller. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. It's connected. It's connected now. It's connected. I see it.
You don't want any accident here.
Wait. Let's actually do this. Let's get you that first person view. It's so freaking loud. I don't know if that like maxed out the audio or not.
Dear Lord!
How loud was that? I had my headphones on. I got it up in the air too. But this thing, it flies amazing, and it's very safe to fly around people just because it has such robust prop guards.
Yeah.
But you can't fly on a movie set because it's so loud. Yeah. Definitely.
How about guys? We finish with a quick Q&A. because I couldn't keep up with the chat during the talk. So you can throw your questions, and then we'll do a very quick Q&A for Dr. Quads, and then he's going to make some other drone.
Yeah.
What's a good place to research part drone for a DIY drone?
Oh, man, it's honestly, I would say look at rotorbuilds.com. Look at rotorbuilds.com. You can look at other people's builds, but when it comes to motors, motor size, motor KV, prop size, battery size, like these things, I mean, your best bet is to go to a Discord. Hey, come to my Discord, ask me, I'll tell you. I'll give you a good like guiding light, and then you're kind of on your own from there. But it's a big closet to open up.
Perfect. Any other question, guys? I will try at the same time. I'll try to scroll up a bit. See if we have missed any particular question. We have a lot of FPV pilots at work. Oh, great!
Really?
I know. I mean, there must be a lot of overlap between drone and 3D printing. There must be. And it's sure. Dr. Quas, sorry, another question. Can you say a bit about propellers with different blade numbers? Oh yeah, I noticed that. I thought it was always 4 blades, but I noticed you have 3, 4, 5, 6.
So that's really one of the biggest questions I keep bugging HQ Prop. So HQ Prop sponsors me, so they always send me a bunch of stuff, but they're so annoyed with me half the time because I'm always bugging them, asking them these questions. And it's the reason why they can't always answer it is because it's a very complicated question. But the more surface area you're spinning, the more thrust you're giving your drone technically in layman. Because like think about like you're swimming in water, like you're pushing your hand across. Or what if you put a paddle on your hand, like you're going to get more thrust. And so that is a factor. So for instance, I fly on my newest drone, 2.5 inch motors, which are kind of made for 2.5 inch, but I fly them on 2 inch, but I have 4 blades instead of the 2 blades that they were tested on. So theoretically, that is going to be about the same thrust. There is another factor, and that is weight. So weight is another factor. But I would say, we just know this for a fact that less blades is more efficient. But more blades gives you a smoother flight because the amount of noise, or not noise, the amount of turbulence is going to be mitigated, right? Whereas as a bi-blade, it's every time it rotates, it's rotating technically slower, if you think about it, because if it's got more blades, every time, let's say that blade is hitting that point, the gap in between the time can cause more turbulence, right? So the more blades, like these 8 blades here, that's going to give you a smoother flight, but much less efficient. But these are for like cinematic drones where you don't really care about the time you're flying. You just want to get a really smooth flight, right? But for something like long range, you got to have 2 blades pretty much, because it's going to be a lot more efficient.
What do you mean by efficient? Is that weight to speed relationship? Weight to...
Yeah, just really just basic efficiency in the sense that like, well, how much thrust and how much energy are you draining to hover? Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So thrust to energy consumption, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. So some drones, I saw some guy the other day flew 55 minutes. Now, the reason why that's so, and you think, well, DJI, they fly like 20 minutes. That little drone and most of my drones, 4 minutes, 5 minutes is all you need. Well, that's not long enough. And a lot of people that are like buying drones, like, what? That's so gay. I want to fly for longer. No, you don't. Here's why. It's exhausting, mentally exhausting flying FPV because every little move and every little thing is you're processing it. So after a 5-6 minute flight, I'm tired. I want to land. I want to take a breather because you can't take a breather, right? Like every second you are on those sticks. And if you're not, well, then you're crashing. So you'll land somewhere one way or the other.
How does the, because I've seen like a professional race and they are going really, really quickly and it lasts pretty much the same time as you played around, but they just use way more energy, no?
Well, their power to weight ratio is really, really high. Their power is high and their weight is really low. In fact, I'm building this drone for a customer now. And so these motors are 2207, which is the same as that 5 inch I showed you. But however, every little component, you're actually now, even on a 5 inch, counting the grams because you want your power to weight ratio to be really good. So when you strap on a big ass 6S battery on the bottom, that's going to be a lot more efficient. So the more cells you have, the more efficient it is technically. because of how motors work in KV. But as long as you can mitigate the heat is kind of everything when it comes to FPV drones in a lot of ways. It is a limiting factor, because I could stick on like super tiny, super efficient motors and stick on a propeller that's really big, but that motor is going to burn itself out because it doesn't have enough to spin that motor correctly. And so it's get too hot, so heat is everything. So that's kind of what they're doing here. And these motors usually have really high KV. And that's another thing too. One thing that is not seen a lot by the FPV community is they see these racers, and the racers are probably the dominant social force behind FPV. And they'll promote a lot of things that is not good for 99% of the people out there, because racers get their motors every week from the manufacturers who are sponsoring them. They replace their motors all the time, because these motors do burn out, because the coating on the copper wire will slowly get eroded and eventually it will make it, not fly so good. But they don't care about that. They don't care about their battery health. They don't care about these certain aspects. In fact, proper capacitance is really important. And I've been preaching that for a while now. And Joshua Barbara has finally made a comment about it. But a lot of these racers don't care so much about that, because their boards and stuff are being replaced and swapped out. Think of like a car, what is that? Formula One, they're swapping out those parts. They're repairing the parts. They're maintaining those parts every single race. Whereas if you buy this drone with your hard-earned money, you want it to fly for forever and not have to really worry too much about it. And you definitely don't want it breaking down on you. And so you have to approach things a little bit differently. And that is one, using a proper capacitance, using a power filter board, which is it's called a TVS diode. And basically what that does is sometimes that battery will pump and the motors will draw so many amps. It's way above the rating of the ESC or the FC. And so how do you manage that? Well, you have a TVS diode, basically cuts the top of that voltage spike off, and then the capacitor absorbs that excess, right? And it releases it when amps are low, and it just smooths everything out. And so you get components that last for a long time. If you don't have those things, which is what happens with a lot of bind and fly drones, you will get the drone. It'll fly great the first time you fly it. Second time you fly it, week later, awesome, sweet. Okay, things are starting to get a little bit vibration-y now. Okay, next thing you know, a month later, you've crashed a couple times. Your drone breaks and you send it to me, and you're like, why did it break down? Maybe you think it's because you crashed. And I look at it, I'm like, no, that's because those components were slowly but surely being eroded and broken down by all those voltage spikes and the amps that were just not, that FC is not rated for. But of course, it's weight and size and stuff, and also money that you have to spend, because to get proper capacitors, if you know anything about electronics, you got to go to Japan. The Panasonic capacitors, there's nothing like them. They're just the best. It's the electricity takes the path of least resistance. And so not to mention that too, oh gosh, you have to put your capacitor really close to the ESC, because otherwise that electricity and let's say that the voltage spikes won't go to the capacitor, because it will take the path of least resistance. It'll go into your components, which you don't want. So you have to have it really close. There's so many different factors. A lot of this though isn't new. This is all stuff that's been established for a very long time. And, so you need to find those spaces. I would say on Facebook, there's a couple groups out there that I'll recommend, and I'll link up. Brian White over on YouTube, check him out. Shout out. He's going to get some love from me, because, man, he's a scientist. He works with like neuro AI pathways and stuff, but he's also a drone pilot. And so he's the guy who invented what's called PID response. What's called step response, which is the way to tune your drone, looking at the data of what you're trying to tell the drone to do versus what it's actually doing. And it's the first time that anyone has actually taken a scientific approach towards tuning a drone. And that may sound weird, but here's how people told you to tune a drone before. Turn it on, listen to the motors, listen to the sound of the motors, and raise your P or your I or your D, depending on how it sounds. And I'm like, what? I wanted some science, please. But so Brian White actually took that and put it into the step response, which is not his creation. It's something industrial machines use. But you'd actually look at what the drone is doing and what you're telling it to do, and how that. And so you basically tune the drone to where those two things are exactly even. And so that's kind of what really kickstarted my drone building career, because my drones fly really good. Why? Because I'm awesome? No, because you just use step response tooling. Think about it. What I'm trying to tell this drone to do, if it does that exactly, I feel this drone is flying awesome, because I'm like, it's perfect, and that's all you want. And so it's pretty cool. Yeah. So love the Brian White. Go bother him. He'll thank you. Go bother him with questions. He knows a lot. He knows 1,000 times more than me. So yeah.
Well, I love that there is such a deep science behind that drone that goes into everything, right? Mechanics, electronics, science of the materials for the frame and I guess motor as well. So I would love to have you again and going more technical in that. I mean, you were talking about ESC, for example. I mean, ESC for me is the is escape on the keyboard, but I guess he was not that.
ESC is electronic speed controller. It's actually what controls the motors.
Okay.
So there's these little MOSFETs that turn off and on to like open up, close. It's kind of like PWM, like with the LED. I don't know if you've built an LED thing. PWM is pulse width modular. Is that? Oh, someone's gonna yell at me. Maybe. But it's like basically it's pulsing with a sine wave, right? And so the motors do the same thing, because you can't just have the motors open all the time because it'll to the moon, right? So you have to control that. Yeah.
So I think I think the technical part of it would be really awesome. So yeah, I mean, thank you so much already for making us discover your hobby that has been enhanced, I guess, with 3D printing in the last half a year. And I'm looking forward to maybe a more technical stream, and then talking to you on Discord. Get my drone built as well, and I think a couple of people in the chat, they want to build their own drone as well. So, that's gonna be awesome.
I can pass the files out, and then when I'm building your drone, I can stream that, and then people can follow along.
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
Oh, awesome. And someone said real quick the hotbed PID tuning. Yes, I've never done that, but that's what I was thinking about when I heard about 3D printing and PID controllers. Apparently, the hotbed has a PID controller as well. So yeah.
Awesome.
Definitely.
So
thank you so much, Nicholas.
No, thank you. And then we'll keep in touch for the technical stream. And then obviously once I come back to China, then we'll have to meet.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Awesome. Yeah.
Thank you again, Dr. Quartz.
Thanks, guys. Hey, I'll see you soon. Let's get this frame perfect, huh?
Yes, definitely. See you. Bye. Guys, what did you think? I had a small feeling at the end, which was like I really don't know anything. I mean, I knew I didn't know. I don't know much, but like the more we do this type of stream. Last time we had Nate talking about what's under the hood, and then oh my god, during that stream I was like, oh, he's using some vocabulary I have no idea what he's talking about. And then today I had the same. Like it's like, oh my god, he's talking about electronics, this, and then he's saying like, yeah, I mean, you have built a LED, PWD, blah blah something, right? And in my mind, I'm like this, but in my mind it's like, oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. We need to do that technical stuff. But anyway, I feel that's just a feeling, and that's a feeling I like, because that means, I mean, I know there is so much things to discover, but the more I do, the more I invite people to learn about their hobby, the more I realize, oh my God, it's the world is so wide. The world of science is so wide. I don't know if you guys have that feeling as well, but anyway, we need to start something that is like Teach Nick. We need to have a series of videos which is Teach Nick, because Nick doesn't know anything. So, and you know how I am, right? You know that when I learn something, I want to understand it well, not learn it like, a little bit, but learn it properly, right? So Teach Nick, it would be a series. Let me know what you think. But Teach Nick would be a series where people come in with a particular topic. I mean, not drones, like everything. I mean, you saw Dr. Quartz. He was talking about many different parts of drones. You cannot teach that in 5 hours during a stream or something. But at least get started and having the basic. I would like to have the basic. I would like to being able to go in the drone community and not be completely lost. I'm doing like XS something 10 S PW ESC blah blah. And then I'm like, I cannot enjoy 100%. We enjoy learning when we have a certain basic where you can understand what everyone's talking about, right? So I would like to do something which is Teach Nick, and then we'll receive Dr. Quad again, and then we'll spend 3 hours. I don't know if he will accept that, but let's hope 3 hours where we just go into that. Okay, what's a drone? Okay, so you have the base, which is the frame, and then you have like a basic drone, like a 4X, I guess, like the 4 motors, and then blades. He called that bi blade or something like this, and then you have the screw, blah blah blah, and then you have a board. In that board, you have something it's called ESC or something like this. You get what I mean? Like we go into the basic properly, and then everyone is following along, because if I understand, everyone understand, like we discussed last time, because I'm the guy that know the least amount of thing in our community. So teaching to me would be perfect for everyone. So do you think that could be a good thing? And then under the hood is the same. Okay, how a car engine work? Well, you have the intake, and then the blah blah, and the blah blah, and the blah blah. So because when you talk to someone that is really knowledgeable, they can teach you the things very easily. Not very easily, but they can simplify things. Because if you know something basically, it's going to be hard for you to teach someone. If you know something to a certain depth, you will be able to simplify the part that needs to be simplified, and you will be able to focus on the part that are important. I mean, that's the art of teaching, right? But I don't know. What do you guys think about that? We add one more ideas. So it's called Teachnik. I think that could be yeah, teach me the basic or something like this. I think it would be very time consuming. How about let the expert recommend some available tutorials so we can quickly learn the basic? I don't know, because I don't know. I like having, because there's a lot of tutorial online, but I think it's hard to find one that answer the right question. I mean, even him, he said that there is some stuff that are done in the drone industry, but people hasn't really questioned it, which is the same problem we have for 3D printing. If you ask someone to learn about 3D printing, you can go online, but they all explain in a way that people is gonna, I feel like they're gonna take a wrong path of understanding. I don't know how to explain that, but call it Polymaker Academy. Yeah, we used to have Polymaker Academy. Maybe we can define that a little bit better. You need more than just a tutorial. Yeah, I think so. I think it's hard to. I just feel like I can. What I can bring to that is asking the right question. Because you could learn anywhere, right? But I think the additional value of doing something like this is maybe I can bring a certain logic to the explanation so that people can follow along. I can stop the guy that explained and say, hey, how did you go from there to there? Because that's my frustration when I watch a teaching video, is that the guy is explaining, and then as soon as he takes some shortcut, and I don't understand. Wait, what's the relationship between this and this? I mean, you guys have seen, right? We have seen a lot of videos together, and you know how I react to these videos. It's always like, it seems that it doesn't make sense how to go from there to there, or from there to there, right? So that's my feeling about it. Oh, Dr. Quaz is there. Just the basic is the same. Sorry. Like if you don't know what ESC is, you can't even discuss the problem with the circuit design. Yeah, the basic, but the basic is the same. Like if you don't know what ESC is, you can't. Yeah, but at least you can ask, right? Like I could have. I didn't want to stop him from his explanation, but I could have, if it was really that teach Nick, then I wouldn't mind cutting him and saying, hey, can you stop there? I don't know what is ESC, and then we just do a small apartheid on ESC or something like this. Having a guy ask the question, even an expert wouldn't think about it, is so valuable. Yeah, that's the thing I'm thinking about, Dr. Quad. Exactly. I'm thinking about asking the right question so that we can learn in a smoother way, something like this. That is why my slicer video are so long. I don't want to skip anything. Yeah. So I don't know, just an idea, throwing out there on teach Nick how to travel around the world is less time than it took Phileas. Less time. dark humor, little John. At bare minimum, it will be entertaining. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I will rediscuss that on the Discord. I will bounce the idea to people from the community. If it's a good idea, we can try. If it's not a good idea, then we'll find some other ideas. My 8 years old taught me today that a black hole isn't just about the function of mass, but also acceleration of a rotating body as it gets infinitely smaller. 8 years old? Okay. I mean, you get what I mean when I say you have to get the right direction of understanding from the beginning. Like, for example, black hole. People know black hole. How do they know black hole? They heard about black hole as being something that suck everything, right? But what if we learn about black hole as what if we take the approach of gravity? I have no idea what I'm talking about, but just to explain to you, what people think is black hole is sucking thing, and that's the basic we have, and then we will build the understanding on that basic. But what if the basic is gravity? Okay, so gravity, when you have a mass, then it attracts other mass, and a black hole is basically an infinite mass in a point, so it attracts a lot of things. You get, so the basic is the same. It's the same. You're basically sucking thing, right? But the way of understanding is different. One is going to say, yeah, it suck everything. That's what's a black hole. The other say, yeah, it's an infinite mass. And then they both know the same, but one has a much stronger basis. He has the basis of what actually is a black hole. It's not something that sucks things. A black hole is not sucking things. It's just a tiny infinite mass. I don't know if I explained properly. And 3D printing is the same. 3D printing, you can learn it in one way, but you will be limited if you start building on that basic knowledge, your basic pillars, and then you build on top of that. The premise is that basic is not good enough. Then you will arrive here, and then you need to start from scratch, and then relearn everything from the right angle, and then you'll be able to build higher and higher. You know what I mean? And drone is the same. For me, drone, I mean, I did discover a lot of things today, and I'm feeling that my basic learning of drone is not what will allow me to learn about drone more. It's hard to explain, but hopefully you guys understand. So you can orbit a black hole just like you can orbit a star. Yeah. I mean, if you have the basic, the fact that it's a tiny infinite mass, then how easy it is to expand your knowledge about it. So everything. So you can orbit around. There is a point where the orbit is gonna go towards the point. There is a point where you can still escape. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, I don't know how to. We will get you. Thank you, Dr. Quest. Hi guys, is there a G-code reader where you can put multi G-code to lay out the items on a board to make sure they all fit before printing? Or just a slicer? You can do that with a slicer. Hi guys, is there a G-code reader where you can put multi G-code? Oh, multi G-code to lay out. Yeah, that's hard because the G-code has the coordinate inside. So you would have to have a software that handles multi-coordinate, and I don't think it's possible. You get what I mean, OneRise? Because what you are telling them is that you have a G-code which tell that the model is here, and then you have another G-code that says the model is most likely in the center also. So even if you put them together, you won't know if it fits or not. So I don't think that exists. G-code reader exists, but if you put multiple G-code, then it will just all be in the middle. You won't be able to know if it fits or not. Finite mass but infinite density at the singularity unless there is quantum gravity. Yeah, but it was just to explain the idea, right? Ben 3D print photon can also orbit a black hole just near the event horizon. Yeah. And then exactly, and then you can build on top of that. if your basic knowledge of a black hole is that it suck things, then how do you build on top of that? Then how about light? Well, is there a limit where light cannot be sucked or not? Well, yeah, it's hard to explain, but yeah. Slicer will do that, but the term you may want to look is nesting optimization, more common with laser and plasma style 2D cutter. That is what I was thinking, but I had to ask. Yeah, OneRes. Yeah, I don't know how to do. So my guess is you don't have the STL, you only have the G code. And then what you want to do is you want to open the G code, but you want to print multiple G code at the same time. And without being able to go back to the STL. I don't know how to do that. And I don't know if it's possible. You could, and that you could have a G code, and then you offset. Yeah, I mean it would be overcomplicated for nothing. Do you want to meet a black hole? Do you want to meet a black hole? Meet my mother. Talking physics, my area. Oh yeah, actually we have Astro Printer here. So anyway, I just feel like we could do that part that is related to 3D printing. Of course, I mean we're mainly a 3D printing channel, but there is so much overlap with many industries. I mean, we just talked about drone today. We talked about what is under the hood last time. We talked about lithopan. And I'm sure we can have some other, like we can have like someone from the miniatures industry. Like for example, just let me know in the chat what you guys are using 3D printing for. Like what particular application you're using it for. Is it like figurines, drones, car parts? Not printers. Printers we have. I know. But like what else? Orthotics, prosthetics, blah blah blah. And then benches. Yeah, let's do a teach Nick on benches. What is a benches? 3D printing for astronomy and for the blind. For astronomy, like tools. Do you, like for how do you call that? Like this. Telescope. Oh yeah, telescope. Like brackets for telescope. This kind of thing. I design and print stupid thing. Something for the Adley telescope would be cool. Next time we'll bring my 8 years old for a Teach Nick segment on black hole. that would be cool. Where is the black hole? But anyway, so how did you like the drone segment with Dr. Quad? Did you guys? Oh, actually, what was my title? Printing and flying FPV drone with Dr. Quad. Yeah, so I guess you guys knew that we were about to fly some stuff, right? Actually, the first time I joined his stream, I didn't know he was actually going to fly the because I've seen videos of drones, but that's the first time I had it streamed like live. Freaking new fire, I enjoyed it. It was really a good stream. Yeah, I really liked. Do you know what was my favorite part? Maybe I'm a kid, but what do you think was my favorite part of the discussion? I also designed a tactile map. All right, my screen went black again. Come on, come back. Come on. I cannot read anything. My screen is black. Come on. Okay, there you go. I also designed a tactile map of the night sky for the blind to learn constellations. It makes a planetarium show for the blind. Oh, it's a good idea. And Astro Printer, that reminds me, we made something also for school for blind. And they had, the school picture, and then we 3D printed all the faces, and in polysmooth, because they're very tactile, right? And the 3D printed surface is, I think, interfere a little bit with how they touch. So we 3D printed all the faces of the class, and then they just go and instead of looking at the picture of the class, then they would just touch all the different faces. And I thought that was a beautiful project. So 3D printing is actually amazing for that purpose. Like print, like how do you say, like representing things. Like for example, I've read an article about someone that was printing big monuments like the Eiffel Tower or pyramids or something like this, in order for blinds to being able to touch it at the same time as being in front. Like they travel to Paris, and then okay, this is the Eiffel Tower, and then they touch at the same time. You know, they have an Eiffel Tower in their mind, their hand, and then at the same time the guy is explaining. So there is the four pillar, and then it goes up to 300 meters, 330 meters, and then there is an antenna at the end, and then they touch the antenna and something like this. So I think that's so smart. I thought about doing that for local blind schools as a yearbook of 3D printed faces. Yeah, exactly. That's what we did. I recently saw a video where 3D printed models were used to help teach blind students about lock picking by letting them feel how the mechanism function inside of the lock. Yeah, I mean, can you imagine how beautiful that technology is, or how powerful that technology is for them? Anything can be 3D printed in a size that they can handle in order to feel it, because they cannot see it, so they can feel it. And then they can know exactly the things that are around them. And to learn also. Like, for example, I don't know, something like a car engine, you know, they can feel, okay, that's the exhaust, and then that's the thing, and then, you know, they just feel everything. That's just so amazing. TPU Eiffel Tower. That's only for zombie. That's a zombie challenge. I've been seeing a lot of game studio 3D printing out their in-game model and characters to get a better idea of the design. Yeah, agreed. I was on Emily's Discord yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yesterday or the day before yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Yeah, and they were actually designing on top of video game export. So you can export models from video game, but it's completely not printables, right? And then they were redesigning on top of that. And I mean, these guys were designing like lightning, like they use Blender. And then I learned so much from. I only joined one time when they were live on the Discord, and then it was like a group of 5 friends, and then they were designing, and I learned so much in this 1 hour than I learned on YouTube in the last 3 years. And there used to be a company. I don't remember the name. I don't think they are out there anymore. But there used to be a company that had a software that you could screenshot where you are in your game, export the 3D map or the 3D model, and then import in their software, and then they would automatically change everything to make it printable. But I think it worked like half of the time or something. I mean, it's very hard to do that. To do that automatically, I think it's very hard. I print parts, telescope, 3D printing astronomy. Slicer will do that, but the term you may want to look is necessary. Okay, so I've got that. Sorry, I'm scrolling up a little bit because I missed a lot of things. Very minimum, blah, blah. You won't believe in self-proclaimed online experts that have only watched YouTube video. Yeah, I mean, when I say Dusty Knuckle, when I say we will welcome expert for TeachNick, it's not like expert. It's someone that have enough experience to being able to explain the basic. Maybe expert is not the right name, but that was the idea. Pesley, is the beauty of PowerK is that he asks and researches, always be learning. Yeah, and I think that's what I like to do. What I like to do is to learn, ask a lot of questions, maybe annoying questions sometimes, but I really like to learn. And sometimes I feel a little bit like awkward to ask so many questions, but yeah, I feel like what I like about our community is they don't mind. They don't mind. First, most of the community knows, how I am and how slow I am at understanding things. So they know, oh, okay, here's another question from Nick. So they know. So it's fine. But when we have someone new, if right at the beginning you throw him a lot of questions, hey, how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you do that? Then, I wait a little bit before before asking all of that. It's like printing abrasive filament with brass nozzle. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was blown away by by the correlation you could do between drone and 3D printing. I was blown away. Oh, okay. We have more negative comment here. Nobody here is exceptional or awesome, and Dr. Quad will quickly learn this by the input he received. Okay. Robert and Drew. Sorry if we are not awesome enough. I feel like we are quite awesome, but apparently nobody here is exceptional nor awesome. What else do we have? Too many people do not seek knowledge. Is there more people that like to learn or more people that don't like to learn? I feel like we are in a generation where more and more people are looking for answers. That's my feeling. My feeling is more and more, like, the more we go, the more people are looking for answers. And it's funny, right? Sorry, I keep looking here because there's the chat, but it's funny because we know more and more about the world around us, but the more we know and the more we want to know, right? So that was the chart I was showing last time, right? I miss so much. I'd rather have someone to ask questions than assume answers. Yeah. I mean, we can have hypotheses. We can have ways of I mean, I'm not saying you have to know everything, like down to the bone, right? Like, it's good to know what you know and know what you don't know. Like, if someone asks me something about the drone, I will tell him what I know so far, and I know that there's a lot of things behind it, but right now, as far as I know, a drone is some motors that you put, and then they are kind of controlled by PCB in the middle, and then I know there is most of the job is done on the PCB, and then you have your stuff here or something like this. So yeah, know what you know, and know what you don't know. Basically, people look for answers in the limited area they are interested in, instead of expanding beyond what they like to learn something new. Keeping an open mind is what drives knowledge. Yeah, I agree. And Astro Printer, if people are really starting to learn deeply things, we quickly realize that things are way more connected than we can think. Like, things, I mean, we are. Oh, here's a question for you guys. Are you, how do you say that in English? Causality or randomness? Like, if I ask, because someone asked me the question, so I will ask it to you. Are you I don't know how to ask the question in English. Like, do you believe in causality? So everything that is happening for a reason. Okay, there is, if we had the knowledge, we could predict whatever is happening, right? So that's causality. Or do you believe in randomness? Like, you couldn't predict that this is happening. You couldn't predict. So are you, cause and effect. Oh yeah, determine. How do you say that? Determinism. Help! Google Translate. Where are you? Determinist. Let me say that. Translate. Determinism. Deterministic.
Déterministique.
Oh, sorry, that was the French one.
Deterministic.
Deterministic. So are you guys deterministic or determinism? Determinism or the other one? I don't know which one is the other one, but so I guess determinism is the one where everything is cause and effect, and the other one is whatever the other one is, chaotic or something like randomness. Deterministic. Deterministic. What was it?
Deterministic.
Deterministic. Actually, English is a great language for song, because if you think it's in French, then you speak like this. If I speak in French, then it's if you speak in English, even if you're not singing, it's like this. But anyway, did your American accent come out there? That was the Google Translate accent. Okay, so Little John, I'm a deterministic. There is no evidence for anything outside physics, even if we don't have complete model of physics. So Little John, I'm a little bit. I'm like you. I believe that the universe is ruled by physical rules. Basically, I do not believe in randomness. I do not believe that, if something happened, if I throw something, it's possible it could have done something else with exactly the same rules that is ruling the universe, but it's just random. It could have gone this way, it could have gone this way. Or if I'm saying drone or a computer, then what came out of my mouth, you could have predicted by my experience before, what I did yesterday, what I've eaten today, blah 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 blah. You could have predicted. Hey, Madcat USA, how are you? Thank you for being awesome. Bad company, how are you? If you can hit the side of the barn, it will do. What is that? Sorry, is that a phrase? We do not have free will, only the illusion of free will. Yeah, I think so. I think free will doesn't exist. I mean, to our current universe knowledge, we call this free will because we have no idea what's happening in our brain and blah blah blah. We have so less knowledge about what is around us. But in reality, maybe free will doesn't exist. So I don't know. Airbnb, I mean, new. Oh yeah. New. Oh, by the way, this is the worst Airbnb I've been. Like, first, number one, like, let me give you argument, right? They don't have Wi-Fi. I mean, I should have checked. It's written there is no Wi-Fi, but I mean, who check whether there is Wi-Fi or not in an Airbnb? I mean, for me, I thought everyone has a Wi-Fi, so they don't have Wi-Fi. I had to run outside and then get a local SIM card with fast internet just to being able to do the stream here. I'm streaming from my phone, actually. They don't have. Then, do you want to laugh? I asked them, where's the towel? Sorry, make me laugh now, but I didn't laugh yesterday. I asked them, where's the towel? And then I was like, oh, maybe they make a mistake. I take them a picture. I take a picture of the towel and I say, no. I mean, the towel you use, after you take shower, like for the body and stuff. I don't want the, the hand towel. And they said, no, that's the towel. I mean, what do you want me? Like, I dry my hair with this. It's already completely wet. But anyway, there is this. What else? Yeah, there's no, soap stuff, and there's nothing. The HDMI cable here doesn't work. I have half the screen black. I mean, it's worse. Anyway, I think the funniest so far is this. That has been the funniest thing, I think. And then in the picture there is microwave, there is kettle, and then in the kitchen there's nothing. But anyway, I don't care. I don't care because I'm going to live now that I have my negative test, so I don't care. Yeah, kettle. Is that how you say? Yeah, kettle, right? Kettle, the thing that make hot water. Kettle. Yeah, kettle. Kettle. Is that my pronunciation?
Kettle.
Kettle. Oh, sorry. I was talking about kettle. You got a kettle for kettle things. Sorry, what did I say? Is that something else that pronounce?
Kettle.
Yeah, kettle. What did I say? Cuddle. Corey, I'm in Taiwan. Look up engine.
Engine.
And oh, you say engine. I thought you say engine.
Engine.
Oh, you say engine. Engine. I thought you say engine. Well, that's a new one. Is there anything why do you tell me this now? I've been saying engine forever. Even during the stream with Nate, he must have taken me like, why he's saying engine all the time? I mean, maybe it makes an engine. Yeah, I guess it makes sense because you say engineer. Engineer. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. Yeah.
Engineer.
Oh yeah. You don't say engineer. And my mistake. Okay. Yeah. Well, if one day I pronounce something not properly, please let me know early so that I stop saying it quickly. Yeah, anjing. But it's NSTO is basically anjing. Whistle when ready. English is difficult. Like I said, if you can hit the side of the barn. What do you mean by that? I still don't understand. Hit the side of the barn. Hit the side of the barn. Idioms, English idiom. To hit a target that is difficult to miss. Almost always used in a negative to mean that one has very bad aim. Oh. No, I didn't get it. To hit a target that is difficult to miss, almost always used in a negative to mean that one has very bad aim. So, because the barn has a very big side. Wait, how do you use that? As long as, like I said, if you can hit the side of the barn. Okay, yeah, I guess I will get it. Yeah, okay, it's like you can't miss it. So it says it means it's easy. Something like this. You don't have to be close as long as you can understand the idea. Yeah. I Google teapot, I get millions, so they can't all be wrong. That's so funny. You said, oh, then you laugh, then you say, I didn't get it. Yeah. Because I want to be polite. I don't want to look like the guy that don't understand anything. So I just do, yeah. But yeah, I mean, you understand. So I guess I stay real. If I don't understand, I don't understand. But anyway, so something, guys. Do you know? Feels like this 3D printing industry awards. So, if you guys, if you would like to support, if you would like to support the Polymaker, you're very welcome to go and vote for us for the industry award, and we can go through it together. So everyone, click that link. Everyone go and click that link because there is many companies. So we will go through the company and then we will choose the one we'll vote for. So everyone click that link that I just sent here for YouTube, here on Twitch, or one of these sites. Click on the link. There is some drama regarding those awards. Oh, really? Oh my God, there's drama everywhere or what? Every time I start something, there's a drama. Oh, really, Little John? Oh, thank you so much. So anyway, you can click the link. And then, so let's go. Let's go together. Let's make it together because there's a couple of them and then we can discuss which one is the best. So you go, you put your email. There you go. Okay. So first one would be the Community Advocate of the Year. Yes, Joel Telling tweeted about it. Oh, is that because Joel had some issue with Michael? Does that affect this? I mean, what's the drama? Is it the drama? So what should I do? Whatever we do, we'll end up in the middle of the drama anyway. So what should I do? Like, should I? What's the drama about? What's the community saying? Like, we should boycott this award? What is the drama? Because I think Michael is working for 3D printing industry or something like this. They're using award to drive their own traffic and marketing goods off the back of creators. They are using awards to drive their own traffic and marketing goals off the back of creators. Oh, because they use their name. They use their name on here. Yeah, you know, drama for me. There is. Yeah, I don't know. Sometime I feel like it's based on something that is strange, like things escalate. Why this stream I have so much difficulties? Is it because I'm getting stressed now that I discovered that I don't say engine properly? Engine, escalate. In the drama world, things escalate easily. Like you post something and then pew, 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 pew. And then yeah, pew, 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 he's blah, 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 blah. Why? I don't remember. I forgot. That was like I forgot. I just retweeted that. But anyway, well, hopefully I'm not doing anything wrong. I don't know what's the drama, but I wouldn't do anything wrong. So. Do you mean they are using the award for marketing just like magazines do? I mean, of course, the award in marketing. I mean, is that? I don't think that's a drama. I mean, who thinks that this award is not marketing? Of course, it's marketing. Why would they do that otherwise? Just of course, it's marketing. Marketing, relationship with company, relationship with YouTubers. Yes, that's for sure. But I don't think that's what the drama is. Well, I hope it's not. You get along with everyone. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Let me see if I didn't miss anything because I don't want to do anything wrong. Dame and the creator should be boycotted. Joel Telling and others have blacklisted them. Okay, that went far. Just like Make Magazine All 3D Printing Award, it's about selling ads in the magazine. Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. For me, it's obvious that it is marketing. It's obvious. And I don't think I would boycott them because they do award for marketing. I mean, it's like my stream, right? Like, why do I put a P? Why do I put a Polymaker logo there? Because it's for marketing. Does that mean it's bad? I don't think so. I mean, even if I was not a Polymaker, I would still do the stream. But I mean, I'm at Polymaker, and yeah, we're using that for marketing. I don't know. Marketing is not always a bad thing. It's I don't know. Anyway, communicate. So the Community Advocate of the Year category is made for people who demonstrate a genuine commitment to helping others access 3D printing and additive manufacturing technologies. This can be in a business sense through supporting the goals of companies in this field, or from an educational standpoint, introducing 3D printers in schools or helping to disseminate knowledge of the technology through blog posts, YouTube, or other video or other media. Okay. So, who do you think you will vote? But Joe Telling is here. So did they solve the problem? You see, Joe Telling is in the middle. So who do we have here? We have Angus, Chris Riley, so Chris Basement, CNC Kitchen, nice. Intenza, making all the I know him for the turbojet. Joe Telling, of course. Matt Stoltz. Matt Stoltz is the guy from Prusa, community manager. Oh, Matt Stoltz, community manager, but I thought he was. Oh, community advocate. Oh, it's not like, okay. Matt Stoltz, community. Oh, that's the only one from a company. That's pretty cool. Nero 3D is there. Ralph Underhofstad. Oh, I don't know. Who is Ralph? Ralph what? Underhofstad. Hofstad. Who is this? Who is this? Do you guys know who is this? Ralph Underhofstad. Hofstad. Who is this? Ralph is the head of the Center of Competence Additive Manufacturing and Consulting in Additive Manufacturing Solutions. An investment, okay. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, there you go. Invest in Bavaria.
Offers a lot of opportunities because it's perfectly located to traditional Munich, one of the biggest 3D printing metropole in Europe. Our 3D printing business.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay, great. We're discovering some people, and then Tichitech and Tom, and then other. Cool. Delmer is a company, German car. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know. I visited the main Delmer car factory in Germany once. It was an amazing place. Cool. Okay, so that's for, so you can vote for Community Advocate of the Year here. So you vote for the one you want. Then next is, next. Oh, there is a number one? No. Sustainability in additive manufacturing. We have EMJGTA, I don't know. Filamentum, I know. It's I don't know what they did, but for that project, but I know the company. Fishy Filament. Fishy Filament is a very good one. They take nylon or PET or nylon fishing net, and then they convert it into a 3D printing filament. I love that project. This is a great project. I'm really glad they are nominated. Daimler equal Mercedes. Oh yeah, this one I think I knew, maybe not. Greenfield 3D, Greengate 3D. Yeah, I wish they would have put why, like what is the sustainability part? Because you see here, Greengate 3D for their recycled filament, Empyrean X Critical Minerals, Molywork, Manufacturing Pro for their recycling of multi-jet and EOS waste powder, and Polymaker for the carbo spool. That's pretty cool. And Prismant for their recycled PLA and PDG. So, if you guys want to support the carbo spool sustainability direction that Polymaker is going for, then you can go ahead and click here. Wait. Yeah, click here and then vote for the number I. Okay, next. Software tool or company of the year. What? So, software tool or company. So you have Fusion 360, Blender. Let's go for Blender. This is what I use. Hey, no. Go back. Okay, software company. Which one would you vote for? Fusion, Blender, EOS Print, which I don't know. Oh, Clipper is there. Why should I go Clipper or Blender? Manufacturing experience is for digital tools behind the scene that makes 3D printing possible. Yeah, if we're focusing on 3D printing, then maybe Clipper. Lux Creo, Lux Flow, I don't know. Auto manufacturing, I don't know. Sintratech, productivity upgrade, I don't know. SolidWorks, of course. Super Slicer, Cura. Okay, which one? Clipper was big this year. Yeah, Clipper. Okay, let's go for Clipper. Next is the startup of the year. I think I know who is going to win here. I think, but who knows? So we have Extra 3D, Bamboo Lab, Cocoa Press. I met Cocoa Press at Earth. Icon, Lattice Medical, Meltio 3D, Ratrig. Oh, Ratrig is a startup? Ratrig is a startup this year? How do you know? Rivelin Robotics, Sintratech AG, and Slice Engineering. Slice Engineering is a startup of this year? Oh. I have been operating within the 3D printing industry for no more than 7 years. Oh, no more than 7 years. And remain unlisted on the stock exchange. Oh, is Polymaker a startup? Why, 2013, 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, yeah. We are not a startup anymore. Okay, so I think Bamboo Lab would be the startup of the year, I think. What do you guys think? Most plastic in the ocean is from discard fishing net. Boats leave behind any damaged one. So the fishy filament thing is really great. They buy the old nets and turn it into nylon filament. Yeah, nylon or PET filament. Yeah. That's what I say. I love that concept. Is Bamboo Lab just DJI in disguise? Is it? I don't think there is any relationship legal-wise. I mean, there is relationship from the founder, right, and the team, but I don't think there's any other. Well, or maybe DJI has invested a lot in Bamboo, so yeah, maybe there is. There's a lot missing from this list, and it would be nice to see details of the entry they did list. There is no Dave. What happened is, if I understood properly, Dave, they had a vote before that, and then you could vote whoever you want. Like, there is no list; it's whoever you want, and then they shortlisted to the top one. So that's how they did. So they didn't suggest anything at the beginning. Now they suggest because that's the shortlist, and they call this the nominated. Hey, Sebastian, thank you for being awesome. Next one is the Enterprise 3D Printer of the Year. Polymers. So 3D System, Extra 3D, Carbon L1, EOS, HP Jet Fusion, blah, blah, Mark Forge. Okay, not so much, not the type of printer that we usually use. Enterprise 3D Printer of the Year for Metal. And what is this? Company of the Year. We have Bamboo Lab, BCN 3D, Craftbot, Creality, E3D, Prusa Research, Ratrig, Sintratech, Slice Engineering, and Ultimaker. Company of the Year, an award for the companies who manufacture 3D printers or related equipment. For example, hot end for use in desktop system. Manufacturers producing 3D printing equipment, typically for use within enterprises, should enter under company of the year. What's the difference between a personal and enterprises? What's the difference between personal and enterprises? They did nomination first. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, they did. That's right. When I voted, there was no list. It was all written. Yeah. You should write everything. Yeah. Okay. So, what do you think is the company of the year? I think it's Bamboo Lab. I mean, I don't understand what's the difference between the startup and this one. So, why they put Bamboo Lab here again? I mean, I've chosen Bamboo Lab before, so I will choose it here also. So I don't understand. So Bamboo. Oh, E3D. Greece would go for E3D. Okay. Company of the year, enterprise again. Yeah, this part I don't understand. It's kind of mixed up a little bit. I don't understand. It's almost the same name as before. I mean, the one above. 3D printing for a better world. What do we have here? EOS, 3D live print, anatomical model for patient care. Line printing with UT. Together we are strong. The controller project. Yeah, I don't know most of them, so I cannot talk about them. And the second one where we were nominated was the material company of the year. Why are you not listed there with all your trees? Yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess it's in the sustainability, the second nominated, the second category. I guess they talk about the carbon spool. I guess they include that. So I share the link again, and that's number 2, and number 2 and number 12 are the 2 one where we were nominated, and this is material company of the year, and we already won the company. Material company of the year in 2018 or 17 or something like this. So we would love, and we would be really proud to have that award again, like 5 years after. Can you imagine during 5 years then we are able to keep up with with the industry and still being considered as a recognized material company. A broad category open to all filament, resin, metal powder, polymers, polymer powder, bioprinting material manufacturers in 3D printing or additive manufacturing. So the shortlist is BASF, CRP Technology, EMS, Equispheres, Eason, Filaticum, Filamentum, GE Additive, Polymaker, and Prusament. So I'm very, very happy that Polymaker made it to at least the top. I don't know if it's ranked, but I guess it's not ranked. But at least in the top 10 or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, to the top 10. That one I would say Polymaker. So many new filament. What? 110 or 20, right? But yeah, very, very happy that we made it to the list for Material Company of the Year. So if you would like to support, you can go ahead and click that Polymaker. Academic research team, Prof. Jennifer, Prince City University. Yeah, I don't know any of them. Medical dental also, I don't know any of them. There's a lot. Shanghai, Sintrotech, Warby. Yes, we have aerospace, BCN. There's a lot. Creative use of 3D printing. Adidas. Oh, Adidas is still there. Is that still for their sneakers? Blah, 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 blah. Innovation of the year. Innovation of the year. We have this that I don't know, and we have Drywise by Thought 3D. I wrote you in. Oh, really? Thank you, Little John. If you'd like to support, buy Polymaker or PVA. So, and then we have fine detail. I don't know. Mental true shape process. I don't know. Yeah, the rest I don't know. The only thing I know in our industry void free peak printing. Okay. I wish at that time, I wish our warp-free technology made it to the innovation of the year. I mean, printing large nylon parts is amazing. I think I would have definitely nominated it. But anyway, if you want to support one of our partners as well, Drywise by Thought 3D. So they went onto the stream and they explained their technology. And Drywise is basically inline drying. So instead of putting your filament in the dryer and then wait that it's dry, then you just put it in the dryer and then you load it and then you can print and dry at the same time. And it's only going to dry the part that you need. So it's inline drying basically. And I thought there's a really good innovation. Sorry, I don't know anything about scanning. Valued added reseller of the year. There's a lot of award. I mean, there's a lot of award for such a small industry, basically. 3D-QR, 3D-Jake, Mara Hacker, Michira, Printed Solid. Oh, Red Cord is here. Oh, that's cool. Vision Miner, Witchbox. I don't know all of them. Oh, there's more. What? Desktop 3D printer of the year? Yeah, but then, oh my God. Yeah, Bumble Lab. What else? And the 3 still there. Black Belt. The Prusa i3. Oh, Voron is there. The VisiBot also. Radrig, Voron, and VisiBot, they're all there. Loosebot Mini. Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like the nominated are strange. Black Belt 3D, okay. Because there is 60,000 different votes for the nominated. So out of 60,000, this was the top 10. I don't know. So anyway, and after you just submit. You just submit and then that's it. I don't know if they base entirely their decision on votes or if there is some other stuff. But if they ask for vote, then I guess it's important. And yeah, don't forget to go on Dr. Quad's Patreon if you want to get your your drone. Wasting time. I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful because I started my countdown. Basically, before I had no idea when I will go back home, but now I know. And then I'm counting every day. I'm flying out on the 28th, and then I have 5 days. So 28th, and then the 3rd of December, and then the 4th of December, December 4th, I'm going to see my daughter. How awesome is that? How awesome is that? Can you imagine? I left October 6th. I come back December 4th. I mean, my daughter was 5 months old when I left. And you know, at the beginning, I mean, they grow like very quickly, right? So I left, she was like 5 months old. She couldn't crawl. She was like just on the bed and then don't move. And now I will come back 7 years old, running around, like crawling around, and then standing up. And then, oh my God, that's going to be so amazing. I'm so looking for it. So looking for it. His daughter was 5 months old. Now she's at college. Where are you from, Nick? A French Pacific island. You guys want to see? You guys want to see? Let me show you. Beautiful island. Beautiful, beautiful island. When I will go there, I will stream from there, and then you guys can see. What is that? What is? Ding 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 ding. Is there like a map or something? Map? Google Map? Let's go. Google Map. The tiniest of tiniest island you can think about. The tiniest island you can think about. Can we find it this way, or it's too small? No. Let me see if I can find it this way without using Let me see. Can I? Micronesia, Nauru, Bakari, Tonga, Tuvalu, Samoa. Yeah! wait. Yeah. Zoom. 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 And zoom. Here. Yeah. Wait. Wait. No. Yeah. Here. Well, it's not like this anymore, but oh my god, let me go that. How can you? Anyway, this is where I come from. It's tiny, and 3D printing is very useful. Very useful when you live in that type of place. How many people? 9,000 people live there. Yeah, it is beautiful. It's been so long, he forgot. I forgot where I live. One of the rarest possible origins, and now you live in a 1.4 billion population in China. A bit of a change. Oh yeah. Shanghai compared to my island, that's black and white, completely different. Yeah, population 9,000. Yeah, it's crazy. Tiny island. I must have been a great place to grow. Yeah, no, I didn't even grow up there. I grew up in Germany, and Africa. But yeah, it's Samoa. So do you know how I easily find it? It's because it's between Samoa and Fiji, because these are two well-known islands, Samoa and Fiji. And if you go in the middle, then you have the island here. And then we are the only island in the world with a coral reef that go all around. So we are very protected, basically. But it's beautiful. If some of you wants to go there, you'll be very welcome. It's beautiful. Oh, I'm not sharing anymore. Well, anyway, I was just sharing that you see all around there there is a coral reef that is protecting the island from the big thing. So pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. 3D printing sure is useful, but ordering stuff online must be really annoying if you need new filament. Oh yes. Oh, you cannot even imagine, Sebastian. We when we live there, we know that minimum lead time is 3 to 6 months. Between 3 to 6 months. Like let's say average of 4 months. 4 months between ordering something that is not on the island and receiving it. So in a world that everything goes fast, then believe me, when you arrive there, then you slow down very quickly. It's like, and then you arrive there, and then, and we just had the phone in like 3 years ago or 4 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. We have cell phone. Before we didn't have cell phone. Now's island at least has 1.2 million people. Oh yeah, it's a different scale. Yeah, the Lake Lalo Lalo is beautiful, but that's the only lake we have. So is it a giant lake? Well, it's a giant lake. Yes and no. Yes, because it's the only one we have, so it's the biggest one. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, if the relationship between the size of the lake and the size of the island, yes, it's a giant lake. But the lake itself, it's I don't know. It's a swimming pool in the US. It's a backyard swimming pool, especially for US people with their big houses. It's also the smallest lake on the island. Well, yeah, it's the smallest and the biggest. Yeah. The island I'm from has 67 million people. Yeah, it's all island. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I have a lot of new ideas of stream. that I'm going to bounce off people on the community. So right after the stream, I'm going to jump on Discord. So if you go on Discord here, there is the Hangout channel. Where is our Hangout? Here. So I'm going to jump in the Hangout channel just after our stream, and then I'm going to explain some of the idea I had to optimize our Discord server and to optimize our live stream. So so if you would like to talk about all of this, then you are very welcome in our Discord, and then we can talk together. So, okay, guys, Mata Utu with UTU. Just making sure I'm in the right spot. Yeah, Mata Utu with two, like my name, Tokotu with the two, so you can see the resemblance. How did you get into Pony Maker? I studied in Shanghai, and then I started with some friends. We started a company that were 3D printing masks in 2014. In 2014, we started a company for 3D printed masks, and unfortunately, the company didn't work out. And then I started designing toys, digital toys, and I went to the Pony Maker lab back in 2015, and they were just barely created, and I used their lab in order to print my toys, and actually I was fixing all their printer, and it was very useful for them. So they asked me whether I would like to work as an intern in order to fix the printers, right? So I started, and I worked like 3 days a week. I mean, I worked 7 days a week because I lived in the lab. I bought a bed, and I live with my printer. And you know what? I should try to find some pictures, because I had my bed. Because, you know, I mean, I was a student, an exchange student, so I have no money, I have nothing, nowhere to live. So I had that, and then and all around me, I put it some tables with the printers on the tables, and because I printed like 24 hours, and then I had an alarm on the side, and then every time during the night, then there is an alarm, and then I wake up, and then I stay in my bed, and I just change the filament or change the model. Then I go back to sleep, and everything was around me. Well, in terms of fumes, I don't know if it's the best idea to sleep like this in the middle of your 8 printers, but yeah, it was that time where I should have streamed during that time, because this is where I was doing a lot of manual stuff. Now it's more theoretical, which is also interesting. But yeah, and then yeah, just step by step, I've been more and more useful for Pony Maker. Then I became the assistant product manager, and then I was assistant director, then the assistant product manager, then product manager, then I was business manager, and then now a senior business manager, and here I am. So that's how I did. Nick slept, eat, and dreamed 3D printing. Oh yeah, Crowfire, that was exactly that. I mean, during 3 or 4 years, I was literally yeah, exactly. I mean, I ate near the 3D printer, and then yeah, I slept with my 3D printer. I mean, it's like literally the printer was like near, like, because I don't mind when there is noise when I sleep, but the printer was like literally next to my face, and I've been used to fall asleep watching the printer printing, you know. So I'm like this, and then there is the printer in front, and then I just watch the printer printing, and then I just fall asleep. And yeah, so that's why I really like to watch printers, right? Because I've done that for like easily 2 years, where I have the printer in front of my face when I fall asleep, and even if I turn around, then there is the other printer. And sometimes I just think, oh, I discover some stuff like, oh, that's how the bridging is done, and blah blah. Oh, the overhang is like this, blah blah. So I guess some of the learning was because I fell asleep in front of so many G codes. How many employees that Pony Maker has? 500 plus, something like this. 500 something. I think we went above 500 not a long time ago. I met your CEO in MakerFair Bay Area. Yeah, yeah, like I said, I have some ideas for future prints, which I'm really excited to bounce against some people to see how it is. Cook sous vide on your printer heated platform. Is Polymaker growing as a company? Oh yeah, Polymaker is because you guys only see the surface, right? You only see the brand, the Polymaker brand, but our company is, I think for most people, what you guys think in your mind, I think we are around maybe 3 to 4 times bigger than what you think we are in your mind, I think. Make Taipei 101 look like a bottle brush. Okay, so sorry, because actually I didn't understand. Make Taipei 101 look like a bottle brush. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I will go on Discord. Let's do our giveaway. Let's find someone, and don't forget to vote for us if you would like to support our Cabo Spool and material and Polymaker as a material company. Yeah, Bang Discord, awesome. Thank you, Bidusmark. Just sweet. Oh, there's still some people on YouTube. Who is on YouTube? I have Josh. Josh is here. You guys ready? We have Airborne, Broken. Okay, thank you for being awesome. Are you guys ready? We're gonna draw. We have 75 viewers, 81 entries, so I think everything is there. Hey, Loyal. The party was here, but we just finished. We just finished. We were. You should have seen the beginning. We made some drone flying. We were driving some drones with Dr. Quaz. It was amazing. Really. I mean, for real, it was amazing. Okay, you guys ready? We're gonna draw in 5, 3, 4, 2, 1, and draw. Thank you, Little John, for sharing the link of something. I guess Dr. Quad, right? And congratulations to Everything Plus Ultra. Sorry, I didn't see you in the chat, Everything Plus Ultra. I love to say your name. If I would have seen your name, I would have said it. But I didn't say it, so that means maybe I missed you. Are you here? Congratulations, Everything Plus Ultra. Everything Plus Ultra. That reminds me. Let me tell a story. If you're not there after the end of the story, then I will draw again. Have you guys watched this? Let me show you something. Everything Plus Ultra, are you there? Do you know this? Wrap option. You guys know that? You know this?
3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 6, 4 now, 4 now, 5, 4 now, 4 now, has 84, 4 now, 5, 5, 65. $46.5, $7.07.
It's not a song. It's like, well, I've never attended an auction in the US, but do you know that?
$1.50, do it again, nowadays. 4 down, now 5 now.
I'm not leaving it for too long because I don't want the stream to be taken down, but who already attended is it really like this, or it's it's exactly like this? Really? Oh, I want to go to an auction. As soon as I move to the US, I will go to an auction for sure, 100%. Hey, Loyal, he stole your hat. This is a country type auction. Yeah. Hey, good night, 3D Print Man. Someone has been alone for too long. Yeah? Is that really obvious that I'm getting crazy? Is that obvious? Okay, so Everything Plus Ultra. Congratulations. You arrived just as I was about to go back and do again. So
Now have.
congratulations.
Now have.
Okay, yeah, definitely, Pezis. I've been alone for too long. So okay, let's find someone to send all of this excitement to. Let's see, who do we have here? Oh, Zombie is on. Let's go say hi to Zombie. Oh, Papa Bear also. Oh, it's been a long time. Let me see. Is Papa Bear printing some stuff? Oh yeah, how about we go and see Papa Bear? It's been a long time. Let's welcome him back on Twitch, or is it I was missing all of his stream? I think no. And then for the people that I mean, you guys know Zombie, so if you want to go on to the Zombie, you all follow his channel, I believe. So I will send you to Papa Bear so that you can discover his universe, and then you can go to Zombie or any creator you want, or like I said, I will be on Discord. If Zombie is streaming now, then maybe I will do after his stream, maybe later, because that's he's also admin of the server, so I want to bounce some of ideas from him. So yeah. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Sorry for the craziness. I've
is too far.
like sorry. Like Pezis was saying, I've been lonely for too long. So inside it's everything is not very straight inside my mind. Okay, great. Thank you, Little John. Thank you, Loyal, K2, Medic, Twink Live. Thank you everyone for joining. Does Nick remind you of Jack Nicholson in The Shining? Jack Nicholson in The Shining? I have no idea who is that. Jack Nicholson. Okay. Nicholson. Jack Nicholson. Really? You kidding me? No way. Okay, thank you everyone, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to stay awesome, and don't go into the drama.